I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
Probably more infamous. I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuznetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanju.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh my God, you're such a good...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem.
You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
R&B artist Jamela.
I picked Kelly.
Love you, hate you. I don't know if I should leave you. Stay here, right here. Push you out, I let you back. Love you, hate you. I don't know if I should leave you. Stay here, right here. For your love and hate got me running.
Can we just handle this in the morning, please?
No, I think I want to handle this right now. You can give your time to the studio boy, but I think your man can get a few minutes. All right? Hey, don't walk away from me.
You're hurting me. Stop, please.
Get in the car.
Up and down this roller coaster, rolling around in circles.
Real talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with DaDirector on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real talk.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real talk.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, people? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the director and the Jedi Council. I'm the director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday at the House Radio and then around. We broadcast live on via the World Wide Web on blogtalkradio.com, youtube.com, facebook.com, Twitter via Periscope. All right, today is another Monday, the 16th of November. And we're back with another edition of our movie versus the director's cut edition. Once again, big matchup this week. We got the GOAT, Steven Spielberg. We figure let's go with it. Let's go with the GOAT. Steven Spielberg versus Ridley Scott. Now, I searched high and low for a director that would really match up, that I thought would match up decent with Ridley Scott. Excuse me, with Steven Spielberg. Ridley Scott was the only man that I came close that I think he's got a chance. He's got a chance with his films. Ridley has got not a similar style, but he's got similar types of films. He's got, alien films. He's got action films. He's got drama films. So big up to everybody showing up in the chat room. Of course, we got Joseph, of course. Big up. Shaw Millions, what's up? Everybody that's come through. Everybody that's going to come through. Big up to Heaven Hollywood, of course. He's not in the chat room, but he probably will pop up sooner or later. He usually pops in sometimes, checks out the show. And big up to the heavy hitters. Appreciate any one of you that come by and show some love. That's what's up. Listen to us talk-ish for the next, couple of hours. What you witnessed before we started the show is, of course, as I always play, Jamela Love and Hate video. It's right here on the IE Network. Check it out. And don't forget, people, to subscribe to the IE Network, man. Subscribe to the IE Network. If you haven't already, subscribe. It's just a click of a button. Right here on the IE Network, you can catch the long version of the Jamela Love and Hate video. It's pretty cool. Directed. Also, want to give a shout out and congratulations to myself. Congratulations to the cast and the crew of the Love and Hate music video, because we just won Best Music Video at the Orlando Urban Film Festival this past weekend. So we gotta get some applause on here. Yeah. So we took home the trophy for Best Music Video. Thank you, Shaman. Puts that in there. Subscribe to Block TV, the IE Network. Everything's on there. In case you didn't know, thank you. Yeah, we took it home, man. It was pretty cool. They did a virtual film festival this year. We actually went last year. My brother and I, and we won again last year. We won for Best Web Series, which was for Playing Dirty. Playing Dirty, which you also saw the commercial trailer for that. Playing Dirty is obviously a drama. It's a crime drama based on the best-selling novel of the same name by Kiki Swenson. New York Times best-selling author. Essence best-selling author as well. Kiki Swenson. So, the film, the pilot for the series, we've been doing the festival circuit for a couple of years now. Actually, we've been picking up awards. We picked up about 2-3 awards doing the festival circuit. So now it's time to finally get it out there. So it will be, you're hearing exclusive right now. I will not give you an exact date, but it will be premiering. The pilot will be premiering on Amazon Prime in the very near future, probably the top of the year. We were trying to get it out by Christmas, but it may not be just to all of the red tape you got to go through. But it will be on Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime Video, we'll let you know. We'll keep everybody posted on that. Yeah, there we go. Playing Dirty in the house, starring at this as Yoshi Lomax, Zasha Santiago. There's a lot of people that stars in that, man. A lot of upcoming actors. Not really upcoming. They doing their thing. I don't say upcoming. I say they just independent actors. Like they you see them in a lot of different stuff, but they get their opportunity to shine in this show, and they're doing it. They're doing their thing. Plus, as the series goes on, once we put the pilot out there, we'll start working on, obviously COVID shut down not only big major productions, it shut down independent productions. Not major productions like ourselves. We're independent. Kiki Swenson self-funds a lot of these actual episodes. She putting the bread up herself. So, regardless of the fact, this COVID has shut down everybody. So, there you go. We'll get back at it, like a recovering crack addict, pretty soon. And, you know what I mean? So we'll get that out there. Also, Groupie, we're working on Groupie. That's my brother and I's other web series coming soon. I'm gonna put that trailer up next, and I'll start playing that as well. It's actually the title is called Groupie: The Blueprint of a Self-Made Millionaire, based on a true story. That is based on a true story, an actual groupie that we know that's given us all of the scoop, giving us the permission to tell her story. And it's what a story it is. And through these characters, art will be imitating life. And we will tell this stories. So I definitely think you should, just keep looking out for that. We're going to it's going to be something big. It's going to be something real different. Real different. So can't wait. We'll probably take that to the festivals too once we're done with it. What we like to do is, do a festival run. You take it to the film festivals. That's how you could find out. It validates you. This is how you find out if you have a potential audience. Now, with Playing Dirty, it's a little different because Kiki Swenson already has an audience. She has a whole bunch of fans. She sold over 2 million books of Playing Dirty. So she already has an audience. But, you still want to do the festival circuit to make sure the visual version of it, you're going to get clean, like what's the word? Unbiased feedback when you do film festivals, because you're dealing with other filmmakers who, doing their thing. So they have no reason to be, kissing your butt. They're going to tell you, if you ask for their feedback, they're going to give you their honest feedback. So you get to learn things. You also get to size up the competition out there. We were up against other web series. We won, but we were up against other web series. So that's how film festivals are important when you're doing projects on the independent side, because you can really see the likability of it, the marketability of it. Everybody kind of, has an opportunity to see, okay, this is acceptable by an audience. And that's what it's about. So we're ready to do our next festival run with Groupie, hopefully very soon. We're going to get it popping. All right, a few things we'll get into. I'm bringing my Jedi Council in a second. And, we have, I do want to make sure that I send from the last time I looked, I haven't been keeping up online, but I did see that unfortunately Jeremiah, is in the hospital with COVID. And they said originally he was not good. 50 Cent did put something on Instagram or tweeted or whatever, something about him. Send your prayers out to him. He's gotten a little better, but nothing people should be going crazy over yet. But anything's better than nothing. So from here, us over here, Real Talk, we please, send prayers out to the family, the friends, and the man himself, Singer Jeremiah, who's in the hospital at the moment. So it's not good. This stuff is real, people. Wear your mask. Wear your masks. This is not a game. I've had several people that are close to me that's developed COVID. Thankfully, they haven't left us, but their life is not the same. It's not. Even after they recover, even after you recover, your life is not the same. Things are different. A lot of things are different. So I don't want to turn this into a PSA. I'm just saying, wear your mask. Humor us. Can't hurt you. It definitely can't hurt you. Some people say it don't hurt, it don't help. Well, it sure don't hurt. So humor us. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, okay. So Zack Snyder recently, over the last week, did an interview with Grace from Beyond the Trailer. Big up to Grace. And she interviewed him. This is the second time she's interviewed him. He was talking about just more things. Snyder Cut, Army of the Dead. He's got that coming. And so he's got a lot of things set up. I believe on tomorrow, the 17th, marks the 1-year anniversary of hashtag Release the Snyder Cut. So, knowing Zack Snyder, and I don't know him personally, but I am a fan, and I do know about some of the things that he does. Knowing Zack Snyder, he will release something tomorrow, something extra. Now, let's not get too people. I know people gonna be like, "Nah, I don't want to see nothing else." I get it. Let's not get too crazy though, people, because let's remember, Justice League, the Snyder Cut, is 4 hours long. It's 4 1-hour episodes. So, it is what it is, man. So, if he puts another, and there's some not rumors, he confirmed that the Joker is going to be in this film. It's actually Jared Leto's Joker, but he doesn't look the same as he did in Suicide Squad. He looks a little different, got a different look. But it is Jared Leto's Joker because let's remember, Jared Leto's Joker is the one that is in the DCEU. Joaquin Phoenix Joker is not. It was a standalone film. It's not in the DCE, the DC extended universe. But Jared Leto's Joker was, because remember in Suicide Squad, Ben Affleck's Batman had a quick cameo in a scene in the Suicide Squad. So where he was like chasing, it was like a flashback scene where he was chasing Harley Quinn and Joker. So that being said, he is in the film. He actually shot some new scenes. Like HBO is like really, they are giving Zack Snyder the keys to the castle, man. They're letting him do what he want to do. They're giving him blank checks to sign. They're signing blank checks for him, and he's put together a whole new movie, which is exciting. This is why we said release the Snyder Cut, and I say we because I was part of that movement. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. I signed the petitions. I shared. I'm part of that family, and we are proud that we were able to get the Snyder Cut. Well, it hasn't. We haven't got it yet, but it's coming. So let's just hope 2020 gets the hell out of here without the world blowing up, and maybe we'll get the Snyder Cut at some point. Anywho, you're watching The Director. This is Real Talk, and I am the Director, and I brought my Jedi Council with me. And if you don't believe me, well, here's one half of them. Ralph, what's up, man? You in the building?
What's going on, everybody? Yo, prayers up for Sinbad, too. Don't forget about Sinbad. I heard about what happened to him.
Sinbad, prayers up for Sinbad, who's just recently had a stroke. He's recovering, trying to battle back from that. 2020 has just been a piece of garbage, man. From the beginning, before COVID even hit, we had the Kobe Bryant thing. Death of Kobe Bryant. COVID strikes, and it's just taking people out left and right, whether you're a celebrity or not. Some celebrities getting taken out by it. It completely crashes the economy. Just ravages the whole United States, the whole world, actually. And as you can see, COVID is still not done rearing its ugly head with Jeremiah. So let's just keep praying that he comes out of that.
2 more months to go, man. Let's
can we get there?
Get through it.
Can we get through it without the world blowing up? That's what I want to know. I need to see that Snyder Cut, man.
Oh, boy. Y'all with the Snyder Cut crap again.
Okay, man.
You know what? I keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it. I really do hope the Snyder's Cut is everything y'all got built up in your mind. I really, truly do. I really, truly do. Because if it doesn't and it comes out and y'all say this sucks, I don't want to hear nothing from you, from you DC fans ever again, ever, because all your hopes and dreams will be crushed.
Here's the deal. I'm not just a DC fan. I'm actually a comic fan. So I like Marvel and DC. And believe it or not, I equally like them, especially characters for characters. I tend to lean towards DC in certain characters because to me, their characters are a little bit more realistic because a lot of them don't have powers. You know what I mean? So what I mean by realistic is they don't have powers. So they're like a little more relatable, I should say. Not really, not realistic, but relatable in a way. So, Batman, Green Arrow, these guys don't have powers, but they're really highly trained. They don't have any powers. They don't have any enhancements. They're just rich. Both of them actually are. They're just rich and white. We got white privilege and money. That's their superpowers.
Yeah.
Superpowers is
I'm
white
rich.
privilege and money.
You just said one. I'm rich.
Yeah,
I'm
as he
rich.
said in the movie. Yeah. What's your superpower again? I'm rich. There you go.
Although it would have been funny if you would have turned around and said, "I'm rich, bitch." That would have been.
Yeah, right.
That would have been funny.
Yeah. So Ben Affleck, like I mentioned, Ben Affleck's Batman had a very brief cameo in the Suicide Squad movie. There was a flashback when she was thinking about with her and Joker, Harley Quinn. When I say she, and this was like her thinking about when Joker basically threw her under the bus, and kind of left her for dead or whatever. With Batman, I think he actually let her get caught. That's how she got caught. Batman caught her, of course.
Yeah.
So, so as reciprocating there, so Jared Leto is going to appear in the Snyder Cut, and I think I know why he's in the Snyder Cut. I think he's in the Snyder Cut for one reason and one reason only. And it dates all the way back to Batman vs. Superman. So there's a scene in Batman vs. Superman where Bruce is sitting in the Batcave and he's talking about how some things, something about how some things go too far or whatever. And there's a quick shot of the Robin costume with spray paint all over it. And it says, ha, 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 joke's on you, Batman. That's what it says. Kind of like alluding to what happened in the comics in A Death in the Family, where the Joker kills Robin. So I believe they were alluding to that factor, which was also one of the reasons, like it was all kind of trying to understand why this Bruce Wayne was wound so tightly and so tense and angry, because he's been a Batman for fighting crime for 20 years. And he's fed up. So, and I believe that Joker is going to be in the film just to get, I believe what Zack Snyder's doing, since they gave him the keys to the mansion, I believe Zack Snyder is doing like what Deadpool did in the movie. I think he's cleaning up the timeline. I think Zack Snyder is tying all the loose ends that he was ever criticized for in Batman vs. Superman. Some people don't understand that Zack Snyder pitched a vision. He pitched a journey to all of the actors from day one. A journey that included Justice League being a 2-part movie and then having sequels and leading into the other, the different movies, the breakaway movies, and coming back to Justice League. So he pitched like a 6-year journey, maybe some more, but just started with Justice League. So they were basically doing what the MCU was doing, but backwards. They were starting with the Justice League. And the only reason why they were able to do that is because the Justice League is, in pop culture, is way more, or at least was, maybe not now because of the movies, but it was way more popular and known than the Avengers in pop culture. The Justice League had cartoons already that was very popular on Cartoon Network and stuff like that. The Justice League Unlimited, Justice League cartoon, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. That's the holy trinity of comics characters. Everyone knows them. Everyone knows them. There is no one that does not know Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. So because of that, it was, viewed as, all right, they could do it first, possibly, if you pulled it off right, and if you immediately broke away to the other films to kind of explain other, but the reason why this movie was 4 hours in the first place is because Zach was doing backstories and explaining stuff, and he was like, hey, it can't be done in 2 hours. It's impossible. It's impossible. You got all those characters, like we said, they don't have the advantage because they didn't go the route of the MCU, so they don't have the advantage of you already knowing these characters when they come in. Only advantage they have is that, yes, you do know Batman generally. You do know Superman generally, and you know Wonder Woman generally. You didn't have any of their backstories except Superman's. You had Man of Steel. Batman versus Superman kind of went into Batman's backstory, but you just know Batman's backstory never changes, so there's no point in. He didn't even need to do it in Batman versus Superman. He didn't even need to do it again. It never changes. So the only thing,
didn't somebody in this show say that? Didn't somebody in this show say that there was no need to do it, and you did it anyway?
No, of course, I agree with that. There was no need to do it.
We had to show the gun in this particular.
No, but no. I now what I said was it was visually stimulating. It was very dope. It was the best one. Everyone that did it, he did it the best in my opinion because it just looked so cool. And it was, just really, it was fan service. It was fan service. That's
unnecessary fan service.
I mean, it was fan service.
It's 10 minutes of movie. That's 10 movies. Wait a minute. And then to make matters worse, then they show. First of all, they showed it in the original Batman, right? They showed it in Batman Begins. Then they showed it in Batman vs Superman. Then they showed it again in the end of the Joker. Like, how many times do we gotta see the Waynes get shot down? Like, really, bro?
Mm-hmm. They did show it again at the end of Joker movie. Yeah, I mean,
I'm almost guaranteeing now. Watch the next Batman movie that whenever it comes out with Sparkly Vampire Man, they're gonna have his parents' death in it too.
Well, the director's already confirmed that that's not in it. He said it's not in it.
Yeah, that was before COVID. But you know what? Someone said, you know what, man? We got some money left in our budget, and we could use that little piece of filler and go back and do a quick reshoot. It only take like a day. Watch.
I hope not.
It's either going to be you actually see it, or you see like cam footage of it or something like that. It's going to be in there. Watch.
But I hate to. Well, if you see a remnants of it or something like that, then that's not the same as you replaying the whole thing over. It's not the same. If you see like a remnants of it or maybe like a news brief of it or something like that, that's not replaying the whole thing over. It's not the same.
Watch.
I mean, it would only be in a flashback, of course. And I hate to tell you,
have some kind of nightmare.
This probably won't be the last that we see of the Waynes getting shot down, because if they're doing the Flashpoint movie, okay, we will once again have to witness the Waynes getting shot down. Except in the Flashpoint movie, Bruce gets killed.
And not for nothing, because I checked out of the series, but didn't they show it also on Gotham?
I'm sure they did. I mean,
so
Gotham is the
come on.
Yeah, but Gotham, but dude, Gotham was made for that, though. Gotham was made for that. He's a kid. In Gotham, you have to show it. You have to show it.
Now that's like 6 different times you showed it. 6 different times that you've seen his parents get gunned down. At some point, I think the audience that will watch it, whether it was Batman with Michael Keaton in '89 or Batman in the '60s with Adam West or Christian Bale or whoever, I think we understand. Okay, Batman's parents died. They were gunned down in a robbery. We get it. Let's move on.
But everyone, now here's the difference though. Everyone seems to change the narrative on it. Because remember, the 89 Batman, was that 89 or 85? What was that?
89.
89. The 89 Batman, it was the Joker that actually gunned down their parents. But that's not true. That's not what happened. But that's the twist that Burton decided to go with. So that's what he did. And Batman Begins, it was just, I guess, some random dude. I mean, that's pretty much what it's supposed to have been. It makes more sense for it to be a random dude because that gives him a reason to put the bat suit on and just beat the shit out of random dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that killed his parents. So they did that, and blah blah. I think they tried to tie it in. They didn't tie it in. They tied it into Joker because I guess it was one of the Joker followers that went to gun them down or whatever. So they tied that in again. So who knows? They always got their own little tie-ins. We'll see how that works out. I saw Kev on here earlier,
That's what I'm talking about, man. Come on, how many times? That's like if they.
I don't think we'll see it anymore for a while.
Yeah. That's like if they keep bringing if they do another Incredible Hulk movie, a standalone movie. Do we really need to see him in the chair getting blasted with the gamma rays in every single movie? No, we don't.
No. You only had to see him in the one movie, the Incredible Hulk movie. That's where you saw it.
Both of them showed that. Both of them.
What movie?
No, did they?
No, only one movie.
Yeah.
They ain't showing no more.
No.
There was only one movie.
No, they showed it twice. They showed it. Although in the Hulk, in the Incredible Hulk with Norton, they kind of showed it like in flashback, like it was like a real quick bam.
Oh yeah, but you cannot. Once again, at that point, I'm not gonna hold it against them because this was the MCU's first crack at it.
What?
That was them telling it.
No, wait. We had 30 years of the Incredible Hulk TV show where every episode it showed you how he became the Hulk. It showed you.
But you're talking about us. You're talking about our generation. This generation, this new generation ain't seen that show.
Okay, but then you have 2003's The Hulk, right, where you saw it once again. And if you sit and say, "Well, Ralph, wait a minute, this is Marvel doing a Hulk."
2003, once again. That's not even Generation Z. So
wait. The Hulk came out in 2003. The Incredible Hulk came out in 2008. I think 6 years is not that big of a time gap where like selective memory hasn't kicked in. The new strain of weed hadn't kicked in.
They're gonna go. So it's just like when they redo the X-Men, you're gonna see some of the stuff that you saw in the in the Fox stuff, but they're gonna do it a different way. They're going to do it. They gotta officially restart it. They gotta officially. It's kind of like they're officially. But but what they did was the MCU heard people like you crying about it, Ralph. And they made sure that they didn't do that with Spider-Man, which was good. They didn't do it with Spider-Man because every Sony Spider-Man went back to Uncle Ben and all that other stuff. So we did not see Uncle Ben or even hear about Uncle Ben in any of the Spider-Mans. I mean, we heard about them, but not really in any of the Spider-Man. Like they already assumed that you knew. He's like, oh, I don't want to Aunt May, after everything she's been through. You know what that means. You know what I'm saying? We all know what that means. After all she's been through. Kev is joining us. What's up, Kev? Welcome back.
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? I don't know what the problem was before. I was trying to sign on through my phone, and for whatever reason, it wasn't. I was signed in, but I couldn't see anything on the stream. It just kept.
I saw you there, but and then you. Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Well, welcome back, brother.
It was Edward. That's who.
Yeah,
it was. His sparkliness was like, dude, like it's shining so bright. It's not going to let him connect. It's not going to let him connect.
We were just talking about the, just the movie news that's going on. Snyder Cut. I said knowing Zack Snyder, since tomorrow is the hashtag release the Snyder Cut anniversary. Knowing Snyder, he's gonna put something out. Something.
There is something coming out tomorrow. 9. It's coming out 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
I guess that's like 12 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
Here. it's not just the Snyder cut. It's the it's
Is
the
it the Snyder cut? Is it the Snyder cut?
No, so I said no. It's no. I'm just saying it's the anniversary of
of the whole thing.
Yeah, release the Snyder Cut movement. The hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I'm sure he's going to show appreciation, obviously, and put something out. Watch the interview with him and Grace, and it's cool, very cool. We'll see what's up. I'm not say afraid, but I'm not worried about seeing too much because the movie's 4 hours, so he could pull from the crevices and corners of it. And anything new, people are gonna be like, yeah, mere one thing. And like I said, his additional footage with the Joker, he said he's only actually added a total of like 4 additional minutes to the overall time. So in scenes, but it's going to be important scenes. And like I said, Kev, I don't know if you heard me because you was logging in. I'm pretty sure that Joker is in the movie because of, I think Zack Snyder's doing what Deadpool did in Deadpool 2. I think he's cleaning up the timeline. I think Zack Snyder is tying up all the loose ends that we had from Batman vs. Superman and stuff like that people may not have understood. Because I believe you got to go all the way back to Batman vs. Superman when he's in the Bat Cave and he sees the Robin suit with the Joker spray painted on there and stuff like that. I believe that's what he's going to kind of tie up or tie in, so to speak. Because I also have a theory that that would make sense why he do that. They have a history, obviously, because he did make an appearance in the Suicide Squad movie, that Ben Affleck's Batman, and that's how he caught Harley Quinn and Joker. He didn't catch Joker; he caught Harley Quinn because Joker threw her under the bus. So
that's in the car.
Yeah. So yep. So I think that's what I have a theory. That's what he's doing. Because trust me, he listens to everything. He listens to people saying, "Oh, I didn't understand this, and why is that, and what's it?" And we gotta remember, he had such a long, it was his whole vision that was just basically, destroyed. So I think he's using this opportunity, being that they're opening the checkbook to the house. He's using this opportunity to tell his story, at least tell it in a way where it could be, right. At least tell it in a way where if he doesn't go forward with anything else, which I believe he will, but if they don't go forward with anything else with him, he can wrap it up and everyone can feel happy about it and have some understanding. So that's what I believe that's what he's doing. That's exactly what I believe he's doing, but we'll see. Should be good. Anywho, I think what else we saw? Oh yeah, the Fresh Prince. This is the last thing we'll talk about. Then we'll go into the thing. The Fresh Prince reunion show is when is that airing? Tomorrow?
I don't know, man, but I want to see that last 10 seconds when Janet Hubie showed up. It was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was good to see her. It was definitely good to see her. I thought that was a good thing that Will did. He said I can't
there, so I'm not interested.
Well, I mean, you can't help that.
Like I said, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that. I mean, it's like I said, it's definitely I'm interested. I'm definitely gonna watch it. See how that is. It was good to bring back, Janet, because he just felt he had to. He said, I can't celebrate 30 years without having her. you know. And to me, she was my favorite mother anyway. It made more sense. To me, it made more sense to have her there. You know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, like, from the fact of you had the two dark-skinned kids, the one light-skinned kid. So you had a light-skinned husband, dark-skinned mother. This kind of made more sense to me. But I just thought she was a better
That didn't make no never mind to me.
No, I'm just saying, it's not just that thing. I just thought she was better. She
was
seemed,
better.
She was better. You see, the other one was a little more laid back, not as aggressive, not as, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Janet's character, her version of the character, a little more aggressive, a little more, you know what I'm saying, the way she acted the role. The other one was really became, more of a sidekick. You know what I mean? More laid back. She played the role back a little more, whereas Janet played the role up a little more, a little forward. So I just thought she was better, But it happened the way it happened, and I'm just glad that they're bringing her back. I think that's a noble thing to do for Will.
I was just satisfied with seeing them in the picture. I was just satisfied with seeing them in a picture together with the two.
Yeah, seeing them in the picture was great too. I mean, because they had their falling out and stuff. But like I said, Will inviting her and bringing her there, he did the right thing. Like, he was, regardless of what was going on, because trust me, she was tearing Will up behind, behind the scenes or whatever, she was killing him as far as, slandering his name, everything else about the show, and he still bought her. So that's dope. Sorry, that's dope. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, Ralph, you said the same thing. Yeah, I didn't see the actor that played little Nicky.
Yeah,
which was interesting. But hey, I'm sure with Family Matters have a reunion, and not gonna have what's her face? What's her name?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
They made that. She was on the show 2 years.
The one who went porn.
It's funny that you said that. A couple of years ago, when I did a other radio show, I actually interviewed Cherry Johnson that played Maxine on Family Matter.
I did too.
And I was like, she was hotter than Laura, me personally.
Okay.
But I still keep in touch with her. And about a year or so ago, EW every year does this reunion edition where they bring back cast members' reunion pictures. And she's not in the picture, right? They did not have her in the picture.
Cherry Johnson.
They did not have Cherry Johnson in the picture. And I was like, yo, she said they didn't even bother to call her.
Really?
Right. And like, yo, if I could see if you had the Winslows and Urkel, if you just kept it to them, but you also had Waldo Faldo in there, right? So if you're going to put Waldo Faldo, how are you going to put the boyfriend but not his girlfriend in the show, who was on the show and was Laura's best friend?
She was on the show before him.
Right. How do you just ignore her? No, but I was like, yo, Cherry.
Right. Yeah, I met Cherry Johnson too. She was very, very cool person. I met her at the American Black Film Festival.
Yep.
And she gave me a nice drop too. Her drop was, "Hey everybody, I'm everybody's favorite best friend."
Yeah, because she's like,
I was known as everybody's favorite best friend.
Yeah. But I just thought that was kind of disrespectful. Like, yo, like she was just as important to that show as any other characters.
Well, I mean, she was just as or more important than Waldo's ass. Exactly. I mean, just as important, we'll say. Waldo became a fan favorite. Waldo did become a fan favorite because of his kookiness and dumb shit that he did. So he did become a fan favorite. Now Max was the friend, right? And she was, to me, just as important. But I mean, I don't know. It all depends on. I don't know how everyone would see it like that. I don't know who sees it like what. How the fans saw it. Any of y'all out there in the chat room, if you remember Family Matters, who was in order of importance? Who was the most important in Family Matters? We already know. Let's take Urkel out the picture. We know he's the most important. Jaleel White is the most important character. We know that. Let's not forget that.
Carl.
Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that the mother. The show was actually about her. The show was originally supposed to be about her. It's a spinoff about her. You know, and Joseph Tanner says, "Where's Waldo now?" That's funny.
Yo, Waldo is doing. I mean, most of the people from the show are still doing great. Whether they're in behind the cameras or still doing the camera appearances, all of the cast members are fine. You know, but that really wasn't the issue. Is that if you're going, it's like, let me think of a TV show. It's like if you do a reunion episode. Okay. It's like if you do a reunion episode of The Cosby Show, right? You bring on
Cockroach.
You don't have Cockroach, you know, or you do a reunion show of Martin and you don't bring on Hustle Man, you know, like he may have been a character, but even still, he was a part of the show. He was an intricate part of the show, or either Hustle Man or Brother Man, one of the two of them. Like you just ignore the two of them like they didn't really exist. I know they're not of the significance of.
Well, I don't know if they would. I don't know if they did a reunion show or shoot or whatever. If they would, you know, bring her.
I know. I mean, those the only one. That's the only one I could.
I would say Max. Max is probably the equivalent of Cole from Martin. You know what I'm saying? Because she was in the show. She was the best friend. She was in the show a lot. And as the show, the show started about, it was a whole different thing before. It was about the Winslow family. It was about the mother. And then it started shifting to Urkel after Urkel basically became a fan favorite. Right. And he became a fan favorite. And then it started shifting towards Laura and Urkel. So once Laura and Urkel became the spotlight of the show, Laura's best friend now got bumped up. So you had Laura and her best friend, Max. So she was in the show a lot. I don't know. Is she the equivalent of Cole? Because Cole was in almost every show.
I'm trying to think of a show where like you had somebody that came on that's an intricate part of the show, even if they didn't have. Okay,
like Larry. I say Larry from Three's Company. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in every show, but he was pretty intricate character in the show.
Yeah.
You had, obviously the main three. You had Jack Tripper, Chrissy, Janet, or whichever one you want to put in there. The two girls and Jack. You had the Ropers, and then Furley. After the Ropers left, Furley. Larry was that third person. He was that other character that was in a lot of the shows, not in every of the shows. And then after the season went on, he started getting more. Because I remember he started getting more play. He even started getting more billing. His billing was higher and stuff like that. As it went on. So I say him. That's probably like the equivalent. Because Larry, you can go 3-4 episodes without seeing Larry, but then you'll see him in 4 straight.
What I was gonna say, it's like Star Trek: The Next Generation. You can very well do a reunion show of Star Trek: The Next Generation with the core 7, Picard, right? But do you not put Wesley Crusher in there? Do you not put Guinan into that reunion? Like they didn't have to be in every single episode, but they're just as important. And that's what Maxine was. She's just as important. She may not have been the core cast member, but she's still just as important. It wasn't like she was the scrub that showed up like once a year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Your original statement was, if they're going to bring Waldo, you might as well bring Max. That's the way I look at it, too. Now, if you're not going to bring Waldo, then all you're going to bring is the Winslows and Urkel. Okay, that's fine. That's what you're doing. We see what you're doing. But if you're going to bring Waldo, you might as well bring Max. It doesn't even really make sense to not bring her. So yeah, but well, that's cool. We'll see how we got on that. But I definitely want to see the Fresh Prince reunion. I think it'll spark a lot of other reunions. You know, people are gonna, if it depending on how this one does, and I think it's gonna do well. People are gonna want to watch it. People gonna want to watch it, at least see it. You know, because it's like what, like it's a one night thing, right? Are they supposedly doing it in a on a studio and everything?
I think they did it in the studio where they actually shot the show.
Yeah, the same studio. Yeah, so that's cool. I'll be interested in seeing that. They're gonna obviously write in the whole thing about Uncle Phil, and you know, go from there. They're gonna do something to honor him. Speaking of which, my last news point before we get to the thing. Speaking of honoring, you know, like so that thing with the Black Panther that Kev posted in the room. Says I think they were talking about them kind of like what we were kind of predicting, that they probably are going, more than likely are going to use the storyline that involves the Submariner, aka Namor, and somehow, you know, T'Challa is going to get killed, whether it's in battle, off screen. You know, they're speculating if it's going to be off screen, on screen, whatever. Probably off screen, killed, and Shuri will take the mantle of the Black Panther. This is just, you know, it's nothing confirmed, but it's coming out of, you know, it's being, so it's got coming from strong sources. Put it that way. I think he mentioned Grace had something to do with that source, right, Kev? I think he mentioned Grace.
Grace had something to do with that.
Yeah. I never found the video though of her actually talking about it. I don't know if she maybe wrote about it or did she do a video?
No, she talked about it. It was probably in the middle of one of her other episodes. It was probably like a part of her one of her other episodes that she spoke about it on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. So I trust Grace. She has a lot of insight, a lot of inside information. I mean, hell, she gets one-on-one interviews with, you know, Zack Snyder, you know what I'm saying? And you know, stuff like that. So she's got a lot of respect. You know, a lot of people got respect for her in this business. So you know, if she says it, I can kind of believe it's somewhere in the ballpark, even if it's not 100% accurate. She's in the ballpark. You know what I mean? So, and you know, this is something that we kind of expected anyway. They definitely going to want to somehow memorialize, you know, T'Challa, or you know, the best way they can within story, show respect to Chadwick Boseman, you know, and then of course they're gonna obviously end it and put, you know, something. They might even do, you know, like a little something at the end of the movie or something like that, some sort of dedication or something. Not just, oh, this is in Chadwick Boseman's memory. They might do something else. Depends, you know, how they round it out. But you know, Ryan Coogler, I'm sure he won't disappoint. So, you know, it changes the dynamic of things, of course. And, you know, it's funny, you know, I thought about it because I think you and I talked about this, Kev, off the air. I thought about it after we hung up with the Submariner, you know, the Namor story arcs. So they could pull from, you know, the original, you know, because we know the original thing with Shuri taking the mantle anyway involved T'Challa getting put into a coma, but that was also due to the hands of the you know, that little clique, the little cabal, right? That but that Namor was a part of. Right. Now I don't remember if Namor was the one who was, you know, involved in him getting, you know, put in a coma, but you know, they may pull that out. So they got a lot of things to go with. We're hoping that 2021 shapes to be a really good movie. Like if the movies can come out like planned in 2021, 2021 is gonna be a hell of a movie year. because so many movies that were supposed to come out already got pushed back to 2020. Yeah, but everybody better get ready. So
I know.
yeah, I think
unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case. Honestly, I don't think the movies are going to be back on. The movies are not going to be like legit back in full swing until late fall.
Yeah,
late November next year. I really don't
think so
see.
too.
Because even there was even a report that on December, I think it's either December 2nd or December 10th, Disney's having another investor meeting, and from what one of the executives said is that they're which was always their thing anyway, that they're moving away from being stuck in this holding pattern. They're starting to move away from that and really starting to they're really going to kick in the gear with doing the Disney Plus. And Black Widow may it's a good possibility that Black Widow may get released to video on to premium video on demand in December. And they also noted that they didn't consider Mulan to actually be a flop. They said the only reason why it didn't do as well as it did was because of all of the controversy and stuff that was behind it, with the with where it was shot and all of the other stuff that went along with it. So they said, aside from that they're not, they're definitely not brushing video on demand off. That that it's a good possibility they're going to start releasing some of these films directly to video on demand. So,
well, I think what they're trying to do is, to be fair about it and whatever, they're trying to wait and see what happens the top of the year, see what type of situation goes down. That we're possibly, heading for another lockdown situation, possibly. So, I mean, they're probably just going to try to let all of that play out and see where it goes from there.
Well,
But they're preparing.
That's what they said. They said they don't see anything improving with movie theaters within the next 6 months.
It won't.
So,
the next 6 months to a year, it probably won't improve. Maybe bits and pieces, like whatever you consider improved. I mean, you know what I mean? Like hell. I don't know. It depends what people are saying in it, but I don't know how it's going to improve. But we'll see. Should be interesting. Should be real interesting. So, that being said, we'll get ready for our next battle. That's what we call it, right? Our verses, movie verses. So, like I said at the top of the show, as I get ready to bring this in, Spielberg's the GOAT, man. I'm sorry. He's got so many joints. And it was funny because I stretched it to 24. I mean, I had, Spielberg was up to almost 30 damn movies. He's got so many different movies. And I'm just like, Ridley Scott, it was stretching it, getting him even to 24. But I believe that he has the best shot, I guess. There's really no one else. I've been searching all week for other people to pit against Steven Spielberg, and I can't really find anybody. Because either people just don't have enough movies. They may not even have, they just don't have enough movies. Like, this dude has been, I don't know. He's the GOAT. So we'll see how it. But Ridley Scott is definitely no pushover. He's got something to say about that GOAT stuff. So we'll see how that turns out between the two. Bring up the joint here, and we'll get started. Let me bring up my scoreboard. And we go with Spielberg. Okay. So, With that being said, let's see what Joseph said here. He's talking about. Prefer Walt Disney Pictures animated Peter Pan and the Walt Disney Picture animated Peter Pan. Return to Neverland. What's he talking about? Oh, Hook. He's talking about Hook. Steven Spielberg's Hook is a great movie, but I do not like what happens to Captain James Hook, played by Dustin Hoffman. There. By dead stuff. It's all one. Crocodiles. Shallow water. Okay. Because it means the end of Peter Pan's adventures. Okay, yeah. Hook is obviously that's on the list. Steven Spielberg. And let's get it pumped. Let's get it started, man. Let's waste no more time. It's 10 o'clock. So we'll be done by time. It starts off very cutthroat, I believe. It's just like a lot of shit going on, man. But you gotta go with their money makers, their top films, their some of them. So Mr. Spielberg and my agent, what's his name? Agent, what the hell was his name? Smith. My Agent Smith voice. Mr. Spielberg. Let's see. Did we lose Kev? Let's see. Make sure Kev. There he is. He's back. Kev, you're back with us. Did you go out on purpose?
No, I don't know. It just dropped out again.
Oh no, I didn't know. I didn't want to bring you back if you left on purpose. I was like, oh, he'll come back. But okay.
Like I said,
so here we go.
Edward, that's Edward.
What'd you say? The network, you said? Oh, Edward, you said? Oh, God. Team Edward.
That's Edward. That's Edward.
All right, so here we go. Steven Spielberg versus Ridley Scott. Let's get with it. And we'll go. We'll start off, obviously, starting off in high gear. Because both of these films was obviously two of their, some of their early films, not their very first films, but some of their first big hits. Jaws and Alien. Jaws versus Alien. Steven Spielberg versus Ridley Scott. Let's get it popping.
Alien.
I said aliens. Sorry, Alien. My bad.
I said Alien. Yeah.
No, I said aliens. I was correcting myself. I said, yeah. Aliens. My bad.
Here now. This is where the word
is Aliens not on this list?
He didn't direct Aliens.
Oh,
it's not a Ridley Scott movie.
Yeah.
That's James
He
Cameron.
didn't direct it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But see, this is where the term cutthroat comes in. Now, Alien on its own is classic sci-fi horror. Classic. Right? The whole idea of I'm gonna kill you all till last person standing. I'm in space where there's no escape. I'm confined. I mean, man. But Jaws has made people not want to get into the water. After all these years, people still don't want to get into an ocean to go swimming because of Jaws.
All the reasons.
I call
it is one of
Yeah, Jaws made a big impact.
No, not its impact. It did make a big impact, but I call BS on the not getting in the water thing.
Well, back then, back then, yeah, a lot of people, especially when Jaws came out, hell yeah, people weren't trying to get in the water. But it made you think. Made you think about it. Even if you ended up eventually getting in the water, it made you think about it.
It made you think a lot.
Right.
I'm sorry. I gotta go with Jaws. Just gotta go with Jaws. I just don't see how you cannot go with Jaws.
I've been wrestling with it, all week, and I'm just like, I literally, Jaws was just so. I mean, they both were very brilliantly done, so I can't say that neither one was brilliantly done. But I think Jaws all the way down to the score and stuff like that. Even though
the story
man.
about the Minneapolis.
Well, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people missed a lot of people missed a lot of side stories in Jaws. Like it wasn't just about the shark. You know what I mean? It was very well done. It was very well. As a matter of fact, I believe what's his name? I can't think his name. The guy who did like Lost and all of that. Another director. What's his name?
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams, I believe, did a TED talk where he used the scene from Jaws to break down, storytelling. Right? And people were like, Jaws, but he broke the scene down. Everybody was like, oh. So it's like he's a scene from Jaws. Yeah. I think all right. I'm not gonna linger. Let it linger. I'm gonna go with Jaws. It was just cause. So, all right. Number 2, we backtrack to both of their films because I believe Close Encounters of the Third Kind he might have did actually before Jaws. If not, it was right after. But I think on the list it was listed before. And The Duelist is another film that he did early too.
No, he did. Close Encounters was after Jaws.
That was after? Okay.
Yeah.
So it might have been right after then. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah. Not the first, not the second, the third kind. Which versus The Duelist on Ridley Scott. That was Harvey Keitel in The Duelist, I believe.
Once again, it's gotta be Spielberg. The poster alone was like, yo, what the hell is this? It's a picture of a rock. You just think it's a rock with like a silhouette behind you. Find out later on that it's a mountain, in an all black skyline. And some of the things that they did with the special effects in that movie. I mean, the scene where the little boy gets taken is like, wow. Even now, and you know how they did it, it still hit you like, wow. And like, yo, it's the precursor to the Poltergeist Sky right there. It is a lot of going on with that movie. For me, it's Close Encounters.
Yeah, I'm only going to say I'm only saying Close Encounters because it was. I think.
Can y'all hear me?
I think if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the first movies. That was one of the first.
Oh, okay. Because my computer's saying there's some sort of connecting problem. I like I said, me, it's got to be Close Encounters.
We heard you.
I think.
You think what, Kev?
I'm going with Close Encounters because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first movie I saw in movie theaters. Because I was a kid.
Really?
When that movie came out.
Oh wow! You think that was the first movie that you?
I think that was the first movie
ever saw in a theater.
That was at the Law Theater here in Long Beach, and that was one. I think that was that was inside the final years of the Law Theater being open. And
why am I not surprised you went to see that type of movie as your first movie in the theater?
I'm almost positive that that's the first movie that my parents took me to.
Wow!
And it was definitely at the Law Theater, if I'm remembering right. I know I was a kid when it came out, and I believe I want to say I'll probably have to call my mother and confirm. But as far as I can remember, I think that's my first movie at a movie theater as a kid.
Okay, so Close Encounters.
Close Encounters.
Yeah. He said he thinks that's the first one. Close Encounters takes it. Number 3 is another big one. Raiders of the Lost Ark versus number 3 Blade Runner.
Oh, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You know, I thought about this a lot.
How you gonna bet against Indy? In this
I thought about this a lot. This was not. Was this my favorite Indiana Jones film, or was Temple of Doom my favorite? I'm trying to remember.
I know this
I
one.
thought
This
about
one
this
was
a
my
lot,
this
man.
this one. This one was my favorite. Number one,
he was
because I
dope in this.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember the Sunday that I saw with my mom. I was home. I was actually at home. I actually didn't want to go to the movies because I was at home watching. I got to think of the name of the movie. It was with Christopher Reeve, and he was an alien. Beyond
Superman.
No, not Christopher Reeve. I mean Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee.
You said Christopher Reeve. He's an alien. I'm like, that's a Superman.
Oh Jesus! What's the name of the damn movie?
Superman 2.
Beyond the Planets. Beyond the not Battle of the Planet. Beyond. Oh God, I can't. I wish Larry was here. He'd be able to remember. But it was the movie where.
You mean that really horrible Star Wars ripoff? I remember that really horrible Star Wars ripoff.
The one where the lady cut her finger while she was cutting the tomatoes in the kitchen. I don't know why that scene always stands out for me.
What
but
the
I was
hell? Why the
watching
hell did that stick to you? All right.
That only reason why that scene sticks out of me because I had a crush on that lady. That lady was really cute.
Okay.
But I remember Christopher Reeve was one of the space aliens in that movie. And God, what was the name of that movie? It'll come to me. Beyond the Planets or something like that. But anyway, I was at home watching that movie. My mom. Go ahead, Ralph. What was you gonna say?
Yeah, I was saying, isn't that what it's called? Battle Beyond the Planets or something? I know it was a
Battle Beyond. Yeah,
isn't it called Battle Beyond the Planets?
Yeah, Battle Beyond the Planets or something like that. It's called. Yeah. Okay. At any rate, I was home watching that, and I didn't want to leave because for some reason, every time I watched that movie, I never got to see the end because we always would have to leave and go somewhere. So this is the one Sunday I'm like, yeah, I'm finally going to get to finish watching this movie. And my mother's like, come on, y'all, let's go. We going to the movie. So my mother really wanted to see. We missed church that day. We missed the Kingdom Hall that day. And
to see what? Raiders of the Lost Ark?
To see Raiders of the Lost Ark, if I'm not mistaken. Because it was definitely on a Sunday, and it was in the afternoon. And it was at the Lido Theater. And the one thing I remember about that day is that, and the fact that my mother had made a big-ass bag of popcorn. Like, it was a big-ass paper bag full of popcorn. And man, we had the time of our lives watching that movie. I love going to the movies with my mom and my dad. My dad didn't go this time because I think he was at work. So it was just me, my mom, and I want to say my brother and my sister.
Raiders and Lost. I went to see that. I'm probably all of those type of movies. I was always see my movie dog was my boy, my cousin Anthony. So we definitely saw Raiders of the Lost Ark together. We used to go see all of those movies, all of the Raiders of the Lost, all of the Indiana Jones movies. We were the movie. That was my movie partner. So yeah, I definitely saw that with him. I'm sure you both are picking Raiders. I actually picked Blade Runner because I just think of because of the innovation of it. Blade Runner was just different, yo. It hit different. You know what I'm saying? Even though Raiders was dope in what it was, you know what I mean? And then it stands alone, its own thing. I think Blade Runner was just really, I don't know. I think Blade Runner was different.
Don't get me wrong, I love the original Blade Runner. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see. That was one movie I didn't get to see in the theaters. I didn't see Blade Runner until it came. I didn't see Blade Runner until it came on actually, when it came on video was when I finally actually saw it on HBO. It was one or the other, but it was more, 9 times out of 10, it was probably on VHS when I first saw it because it was.
Blade Runner was great film, man. I mean, it was only because it's one of his bigger films, one of his most notable films, is the reason why it's even up that. Well, it's up that high on the list. It doesn't really matter what number you're at, but I wanted to put it against the Minority Report, being that they were both Philip K. Dick movies, books that the movies was made from. I was going to do that, but I didn't want y'all to say I'm setting it up for people to win. So let's let Blade Runner go again. So it goes again. So we're gonna raise the Lost Ark. But I still want Blade Runner, but Raiders wins. Okay, cool. Number 4 is E.T., the extraterrestrial, versus number 4, Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Sorry, man. Sorry, that's Maximus. No. Sorry, E.T. E.T. just got cut
Sorry,
down.
E.T. You got home, all
Gladiator.
right? Your ass got home. That's all that matters. You phoned home and you made it home.
Yeah, and that's
Are
another
you
one I
not
got to see.
entertained? That's the question. Are you not entertained?
Entertained.
Because
Yeah,
you
I'm
just
telling
got
you.
cut. Sorry, E.T.
Yeah. Because that's like another one that I saw. That's another one
Man,
with good memories from the Lido Theater that I saw with my mom at the movie theater. You know, my mom and my sister. My mom was into some sci-fi, but into like heavily into, because obviously she was a Jehovah's Witness. So there were only certain movies she would see, you know, that you know, they had to be like family friendly type movies for us to go. Up until I turned like 12 or 13, when I looked like I was almost 16. And I can go to the movies by myself and still get to the R-rated movies, because at that point, they switched owners, I think, at the Lido, or they switched management at the Lido, and the management that was there didn't care nothing about anything but getting more money at the box office. So they let everybody in.
Oh, okay. Well,
more money,
right? So, all right. So Maximus wins, and we go on. Number 5 is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom versus number 5, Black Rain.
Black Rain.
Black Rain was dope too.
Yeah, man, I'm green, man. Black Rain.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
There's
just
no question about that.
And that was one of the movies that, you know, I didn't see that coming. I saw it on video and I was like, damn, man, I should have seen this in the movies. This movie was great. You know, slept upon Michael Douglas' role, but
yeah, that was a sleeper. People
it just slipped.
really.
I mean,
Yeah, that was a sleeper one.
Because I think at that point I was like on this Michael Douglas burnout, because you know he had been making, you know, it was at the 2 Romancing Stone movies.
Yeah, he was doing the
Wall
Romancing
Street,
Stones and stuff.
And, you know, Fatal Attraction, and I was kind of like burnt out on. So then you see the poster with him standing on his bike with these sunglasses, and I was like, oh come on, now Michael Douglas is trying to be tough. Yeah, okay. But I caught it on video.
He did his thing.
Like, you know, he did his thing.
He did his thing.
He did his thing, and I can't fault that, movie. Man.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's a sweep. We're all with Black Rain on that one. Number 6. Steven Spielberg, The Color Purple, versus number 6, Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
Man.
Yeah, I'm not. I ain't answering that one quick. I'm like,
See, all right. I remember when that came out. I remember when that came out. Spielberg got a lot of crap. Spielberg got a lot of crap for directing it, because you know he was like, "Oh, how's this white guy going to direct this black book?" But then you saw it and you was like, "Damn, he did a good job." But Thelma and Louise, man, it's rare that you ever see. First of all, even now, it's extremely rare that you see a woman's name head in the marquee. But now you see these two women. That not only are their names both on the marquee, but it's like a road movie and a drama at the same time. I'm sorry, Celie, but I gotta go with Thelma and Louise too. I really do. That was just a special movie, and it's a shame that that after that there wasn't more movies like that came out. That's the sad part about that. That I thought that would have set a trend. Like, you know, we could have 2 big, strong female names in the buddy movie or a team up movie, and we could do something, because they do. Hell, how many Rush Hours we had? How many Lethal Weapons we had? But we've only had one Thelma and Louise.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shit,
At
no
the
more.
time The Color Purple came out, and don't get me wrong, it was a good movie. I only saw it once. I wasn't all that impressed because I was never really overly impressed with slave movies anyway. And I got issues with Steven Spielberg that just go beyond that anyway. So anyway,
How you gonna hate on Spielberg?
Well,
because he's
let me tell you something. The Color Purple was an excellent film, and I don't give a shit who directed it. It was good. The acting in it was phenomenal. Storytelling
it
was
definitely
good.
a good movie. Definitely a good movie. I only saw it once.
Yeah, but I
twice.
wouldn't consider it a slave movie. It's not a slave movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
It really isn't.
It's not a slave. It's not a slave movie. And it's really all black. It's like an all black cast. There ain't hardly even any white people in that film.
I don't know anything from the way. I don't know. It was just anyway. Like I said, I got issues with that dude.
The way I think it was a nice breakout. It was a breakout film for a lot of people too. Oprah, Whoopi. Kind of like a breakout film as far as Whoopi was a comedian, but this was like the first real shot at like serious acting of her doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It was really good, like what she did in there, and then the whole part about and then at the end, who don't, what I'm saying, who don't remember or even like the end where she finally. I mean, this dude tormented her, like he had for years. The nigga was taking the letters from her sister and hiding them. Never let her. He didn't have to hide them because she didn't touch nothing that he said don't touch. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like the way he treated her like so bad. And then it's like when she finally got the guts to stand up to him. You know what I mean? Like she put the rook on that nigga. Yeah. He started coming. He tried to come at her with the I'll slap the fire at you. She put the hook. She's like,
you ain't never gonna do right till you do right by me.
That's right. Like, till you do. She said, till you do right by me, everything you even think about is gonna fail. And exactly what happened. What she said happened. She left. That nigga went to the ground. He was done. He was messed up. Everything was just messing up for him until he finally did right by her and brought her sister back, to the States or whatever. Thought it's really hard to go against that film. I actually have to. I mean, I don't know which one y'all going with, but I gotta go with The Color Purple.
I'm
both
said
Thelma and Louise.
Going Thelma and Louise, so Thelma and Louise wins, and we move. All right, so let's move on. Empire of the Sun, number 7, versus G.I. Jane. Not G.I. Joe. That's G.I. Jane. With a kung fu grip that don't even work.
You know what?
That ain't a G.I. Joe. That's a G.I. jerk with a kung fu grip that don't even work. All I did was just put him away. G.I. Joe look G.I. gay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going with G.I. Jane for no other reason than Demi Moore. You actually see the transformation in her throughout the entire movie.
Oh, she went in on that. She
trained hard for that film. I mean, and the pieces where she has to try to fit in with these guys that really don't even want her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the fact they don't want her. It's like they're actually mad because this chick even dared to come into their world, but she proves herself. And then they wound up respecting her.
Yeah.
But once again, it's another movie that I thought you would start seeing more and more of, but you really truly haven't. I mean, every once in a blue moon you get a movie where you have a female that's in a real strong position, but even with those, it's still too and far in between. I mean, after G.I. Jane, what do you want to say? Maybe Jesus. That's what I'm saying. I got to sit there and really think about I think around the same time the Long Kiss Goodnight came out.
Yeah.
Where you had that, but then, like I said, it's so few and far in between. I mean, yeah, you could sit there and say, Captain Marvel, certainly the Hunger Games, but once again, two in between.
Yeah. As far as kind of like a military thing, you mean?
No, just having a strong female,
strong female
carrying the entire movie on her shoulders, and then she's not,
you got to probably go all the way up to. Yeah, Long Kiss Goodnight had something like that, but she didn't really carry the whole movie. She had Samuel Jackson helping her. So you have to probably go to like $1 Million Baby or something.
I mean, certainly
she still had Morgan Freeman and Clint Eastwood.
But certainly the Hunger Games fits into that category. I mean, you can even say like Liana, I mean, but that's what I'm saying is that there's so few in between.
Yeah.
When you had the strong
Lumfim Nikita, probably.
Lumfim Nikita, too far in between for me. Sorry, but
before that you had Miss 45. There are a bunch of films that you could probably call out that had strong female leads.
But that's still what I'm saying. You have a bunch. It's not a lot. It's a bunch.
Right.
And it's like every couple of years you get one movie where you got a female that's like running the show and it's all on her shoulders. Unless it's like a female, unless it's like a romantic comedy. They'll do that for romantic comedy. Maybe even a drama, but like a real deep action movie, in this.
Well, you get them now. They're more common now than anything. You know what I mean? You had Salt. You had another. They're more common now than But I get it from back then. Yeah, I can feel you on that one. So G.I. Jane, I'm picking that as well. G.I. Jane is going to win this one. Next up, I believe that's me. It's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. And number 8, Robin Hood. That was the one with Kevin Costner, that Robin Hood. Was it?
No, it's not. That's not with Kevin Costner. That's with Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Okay, yeah. I didn't really like that one.
Yeah, and frankly, I'm even insulted that you put that against Indiana Jones' Last Crusade because that Robin Hood was a piece of crap. Sorry. It's a piece of crap.
Okay. I didn't like that one either.
Against the Last Crusade, man. Sorry. Once again, Indy, way better feature than the Temple of Doom. Way better return. Then you bring Sean Connery into it. Once again, you bring the Nazis. Better ride. Not as good as Raiders of the Lost Ark, but damn close. Steve Spielberg made you come back with that one.
Yeah, he did a damn thing on that one. That was I think that was my favorite one. I love the Raiders, but I think that was my favorite one. Maybe just because of the addition of Sean Connery's character. And did they bring the girl back in that one, or that was that new one they brought her back?
That was the new one.
Yeah, I hated that one.
90-year-old Indiana Jones.
This was the one where we was like, Venice.
Yeah.
Venice.
Bringing back 90-year-old Indiana Jones.
This was this
vapor rub on his knees and shit.
Right. This movie was my first experience in a adventure role playing adventure game for the computer. The Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade game for the IBM computer that I had. Me and my cousin Anthony had it. That shit had 7 discs, 7 floppy discs. The game was. And it was the first time you ever had something where you can make decisions in the game and play the game and things would happen. And I remember every time when you I don't remember which disc they asked you to load, but it was this one specific disc you was always asked to load if you didn't get it right when you had to pick the Grail. You had to, at the end you had to pick and when you pick the Grail, it's like, please load disc 4. You're like, oh no, you know what's gonna happen. Next thing you know, they turn into he chose poorly. He chose poorly. So That was my joint, man. That was my
It was
joint.
actually an Indiana Jones game before that.
That's the only game that I remember. I mean, I'm sure it might have been
Yeah,
Temple of Doom. Yeah, Temple of Doom, because that was the one that was in the arcade. Soon, Kali Ma will rule the world. I remember
Well, even before that, they had the one that was on Atari. The first Raiders of the
I
Lost
thought that
Ark.
was Temple of Doom.
Mason-
Oh, that was Razor. Okay, I know Temple of Doom had a game for sure because it was in the arcade and it was on like the game system as well, console. But yep, I remember it was like soon, Kali Ma will rule the world. I'm like, yeah, that was a pretty good game. But this one was like good graphics, like really good graphics, and it was the first one of those to me that I had experience with those type of games that had like those really
the RPG games. It was the role playing game.
Yeah, exactly. The real good graphics, role playing, and you had to do all types of stuff. It was crazy, man. You had to play out the movie, but he had other stuff he had to do too. And then when it came down to, he chose poorly. Your ass would choose that. You choose that wrong grail. Your ass was grass. So yeah. So Indiana Jones. Let me just put that in here. That's in here already. In the Last Crusade. Okay. Next up, number 9. Joseph talked about it. One of his favorite characters. He said. Number 9 is Hook from Steven Spielberg versus number 9, Legend, Ridley Scott.
Legend.
Yeah, I was like, Legend was dope.
It's that real deep slept upon Tom Cruise movie that came out the same year as Top Gun, and everybody was like, I don't want to see this crap.
I want to see this shit. I want to see Top Gun, man. I got the Need for Speed, not done anything else. Yeah, I hear you. Hook obviously had the bigger, it was the more whatever you want to call it. It was the bigger movie as far as, hype.
Legend was the better movie.
But Legend was definitely.
Yeah, Legend was the better movie. I mean, Hook was. Oh, I mean, I admit, Hook was good. It was. I don't see. Even to this day, I'm not even sure if "good" is the right word or is it really just okay.
It's okay.
It's okay, but for a Spielberg movie, particularly him, I really was expecting something more magical in Hook.
It's the same old story being told over and over again. That's why I said Legend. I wasn't impressed with Hook. I wasn't. I listened to those stories. I had a Disney show and tell at home, and that was, if anybody remembers, if you were a 70s baby, especially specifically an early 70s baby, the show and tell was it was the Fisher Price show and tell, and they had it was a record with a
arrow on it, right?
It was a record with that had I forgot what they call those things, but the slides. It was a record, and they had a slide, but instead of the slide being on an individual card, it was on like a 35 millimeter film reel, and it was in a card form, just like a slide, but you push it down into the slot, into the viewer slot, and then you put on the record, and as the record played, the pictures would go across the screen. The pictures would show up on the screen of the show and tell while the record played. So it was kind of like watching a still movie, with the full soundtrack and narration and whatever the case may be, but you were just looking at still images. And I watched everything from freaking Heidi, which was my favorite one, to what's the one? Not Gone with the Wind. What's the one with the lady in the lady on the mountain that does the twirls? Everybody's favorite movie. She's running in the green grass at the top of the mountain and she's spinning around.
The Sound of Music?
Yeah, The Sound of Music.
Oh, Sound of Music. You said everybody's favorite movie.
Stars are alive. Yeah,
The
that
sound of music. Sound of
yeah, Pinocchio. There were so many of those damn movies that I watched. It's just like Steven Spielberg couldn't pick something. You couldn't pick something more. Like you did
So
that.
Joseph Tanner says Hook was basically a Steven Spielberg version on what could happen if Peter Pan grew up. That's what he says. That's his take on it. So, well, I'm sure the film did well.
I mean, even with that one, I don't have a problem with you showing Peter Pan now that he's grown up and he has kids. Okay, he's married. Okay, but it was just the whole thing with him trying to rediscover who he used to be. And like his memories of him being a kid have gone, and all these things. Now he's this uptight lawyer, and it was like
I don't even remember the damn movie. It's stupid.
I do. And honestly, for me, the movie didn't really get good until the last half hour when he finally figures out who he is and he learns how to fly. He remembers how to fly. That's when it started to get good, because now you got Peter Pan back. But other than it's like. Huh? And
like I said, Legend.
Dustin Hoffman is kind of like.
I think we all went with Legend at this.
Yeah, he's kind of like clowning it as Captain Hook, and nah, man.
Yeah. So,
only good thing about the whole movie was Tinkerbell. That's it.
It was Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell. She's the only good thing in the entire movie. Is Tinkerbell.
Wow. Okay,
so Julia Robertson's really cute.
That's funny. Okay, so we move on. Legend takes it. We go now to number 10. We're halfway through. Well, almost halfway through. Number 10, Jurassic Park. Steven Spielberg versus number 10, Kingdom of Heaven. Ridley Scott.
Kingdom of Heaven.
Come on, son. Jurassic Park.
Kingdom of Heaven was dope, though.
They actually made a dinosaur. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm going with Jurassic Park, but Kingdom of Heaven was dope.
Yes, it was. Director's cut was just as good. It was better than the theatrical cut. But still, come on. They made a dinosaur, a real dinosaur. They actually put it into the movie.
And I love Jurassic Park. Kingdom of Heaven, though. That was my movie.
No, I hear you. I still got to go with Jurassic Park on this one. It's just, it was something that I've never seen before. So it did something that I've never seen before. So that's why I feel like, and it's still, and to this day it stands, it started that whole franchise. It stands out on its own. You know what I mean? And it wasn't just the dinosaurs. It was just with the effects and all of that. But even the story was dope. You know what I mean? Like the action in it was good, and it was crazy. You had your occasional asshole like Newman.
But you know something that's really the inspiration where they say, well, maybe we should go back and redo Godzilla. Because all the other Godzillas, obviously everybody, at least I hope everybody knows that the old Godzillas was a guy in a monster outfit. But now they said, wait a minute, we can make it look a little bit more realistic because Jurassic Park shows that it can get done.
I disagree with that. I don't think Jurassic Park had anything to do with that.
You don't think so?
No, maybe in a small way to spark the interest, because actually
just the technology
when Jurassic Park came out, there were other Godzilla movies that came out and they were still doing the same thing with the guy in the costume. They were still doing that even after Jurassic Park came out. What I think it is, what I will agree with is once America got their hands on it. And kind of sort of took it away from the Japanese with the first Godzilla. That was pretty dope. The one with what's his face?
Matthew Broderick.
With Matthew Broderick. That one was like, okay, yeah, I see where y'all going. It's not perfect, but it's damn sure good.
It's
the story was good.
Improvement can come.
Yeah,
improvement can come.
Improvement. But then when they did that latest one, the one that re-sparked the monster universe, I was like, God damn, here we go. Yeah, they're on it. They got something. They're running with it. Then they did Kong. They did the Monster Island one, and then the other Godzilla movie after that with Monster Zero, and that was right. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that was the movie. That was the movie that I was watching that I didn't want to leave to go see Indiana Jones. I was watching Godzilla, the Godzilla Monster Zero movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was the movie that I was watching.
Speaking of beating a dead horse, how many King Kong movies are we gonna get?
Actually, there's going to be the next movie is supposed to be
Kong versus Godzilla, right?
Godzilla, yeah, is the next movie.
Now that I cool.
I want to see that.
I mean, but I didn't like. I don't think I even saw the last Kong movie because I just.
Oh, you have to go see that.
Like Kong Skull Island. I actually enjoy it. Now, King Kong, the Peter Jackson one, I'm still divided. Like, I like some parts of it, but some parts I don't like.
I like the original. I like the original King Kong.
Yeah, the original with Jessica Lange.
Yeah,
that one when done. Yeah, that will always. And don't be me wrong, the Peter Jackson one was good.
That was pretty good too.
Jessica Lange.
But I was like, yo, I love that King Kong movie, man. I was good. You don't have to make no more, in my opinion.
Nope. if they never made another one,
I would have been happy. I would have been okay
with that one. So I mean, and I wasn't. So I mean, I'm sure I'll like the new one too, because I mean, I like the Peter Jackson one, but I just was kind of
but this one,
just on that beating the dead horse thing. I'm like, Kong again.
No, but this one you'll like because this one doesn't have anything to do with, and you can kind of see how they did a little bit of a nod towards the original.
Was that the one? Wait, was that the one with Samuel Jackson in it?
Yeah.
I did see that one. The one with Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson's in every goddamn thing. That's what
know what? This is actually the only movie that I actually hate Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm just like I
couldn't stand him in this movie. I thought he was such an asshole in this movie.
Yo, when I saw Samuel Jackson in Tarzan, I was just like, I can't.
Maybe we should do that one. Like, at what point does Samuel L. Jackson jump the shark? We're like, come on, bro, really? You in this too? Like, come on, bro. You really have
Tarzan.
to Ghostbusters.
Like, what the hell are you doing in Tarzan?
I mean, not Ghostbusters. You really had to
swinging across the damn jungle with Tarzan. Like, what is going on here?
I know. Like, bro, you really had to be in a remake of RoboCop. Really? They had to give you a part in RoboCop.
Yo, that's funny. Sam Jackson's that dude, man. But okay, so
hardest working man in Hollywood.
Yeah, he is. He sure is. So Jurassic Park will win that one because I went with Jurassic Park as well. Number 11, Schindler's List. Based on a true story. Versus number 11, American Gangster, based on a true story.
American Gangster.
See right there. That's that bullshit right there. Right there.
Ain't no bullshit about it. Anyway, American Gangster.
I love American Gangster, but for this, I'm sorry. I got to give it to Schindler's List. Really. Because at that point in time, Spielberg really had it done. I mean, he did The Color Purple, but you're tackling a real deep subject. Because you're Jewish, you're tackling something that happened to your people. You had to go and say, you know what? I'm gonna make this all in black and white. The whole movie's black and white except the last 5 minutes. The entire movie, and to visually show the horrors of that. World War II, what it was like for Jewish people. I mean, like, man.
It was like that for everybody. Anyway,
I'm sure it was. But and I would say like I would say the same thing like 12 Years a Slave. When you actually see it messes with your mind. It's one of them. Well, 12 Years a Slave is a little different, because 12 Years a Slave is one of the movies where if you saw it in theaters like I did. When the part where she's getting beat at the end and this white people around, you look at him like, I just need to bust your head with this bottle right now. Just as I'm under the darkness, I just need to bust your head open.
I'll whoop your head, boy.
Yeah.
I'll whoop your head, boy.
So you sitting in the movie theater, and he's beating her, and you seeing the flesh coming off her, like being ripped off her ass, and you like, yo, and next to you, you got some white person sitting there looking at it like, oh, that's what it was like. That's what we missed. And you like, I just need to. But Schindler's List, I mean, for me, what I really think, I think that was really Steven Spielberg grown up of what he can do. No action, no real big name stars in it, but what he can really do. No, like I said, no action, no special effects, no lightsabers, no machine guns, just a drama driven, a story driven drama. And and he doesn't really, even now, he doesn't really do too many of those type of movies. He's still action adventures, but man, there was just something about that. I was like, man,
there was a whole agenda behind why that movie was done. But anyway,
so
I'm
going to.
Oh, here comes conspiracy, brother.
This is what I'm gonna say, and this is gonna be a reveal. I'm revealing something right now. I watched Schindler's List one time, and I fell asleep.
Oh, damn.
That is the only time I've ever watched Schindler's List. And I believe it was in the theater when I went to see it, too. I fell asleep. And I don't remember a goddamn thing about Schindler's List.
That's a damn shame.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to say unfortunately for me, but for me, the reason why Schindler's List had no impact on me either way, and again, there was a reason why that movie was done, outside of it, in my opinion. But anyway, I had already been, I don't want to say inundated, but I had done a lot of, because I grew up in a house where we watched a lot of documentaries and stuff. And because of in school, specifically in social studies, we watched a lot of, and growing up in Long Beach is mostly a Jewish town. So I grew up watching a lot of like actual footage of Auschwitz and all of that stuff and documentaries with that stuff. So I was like already, I already had a taste of it. So I wasn't like, his movie didn't really all that. It was a good movie, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't really all that moved by it because of just the of all the war documentaries and stuff that I saw, involving World War II and stuff that went on. So I wasn't overly impressed with the movie. Good movie, don't get me wrong. I mean, deserved the accolades that it got, but again,
I guess I have to be honest about it. I don't remember enough of it to judge it, so I'm kind of have to default to American Gangster because I don't remember enough about Schindler's List. Honestly, I watched it. I fell asleep on it. I never watched it again, and it's been on my list for about 20 years to watch again, and I never did. So there you have it. I had to reveal it. I had to let people know. Yes. Well, this is right up there with I've never watched. I did try to watch. It's happened to me with Lord of the Rings. I tried to watch Lord of the Rings, and I did. Well, that's because I'm not interested in that type of movie. But that's right up there with people. You can't believe it. You didn't see Lord of the Rings. Everybody just going, ready to have a hissy fit because I didn't see Lord of the Rings. No, I had not seen Lord of the Rings. I watched it. I tried to watch it. I fell asleep. That's it.
The first one, I definitely say watch. The second one,
I tried. I can't watch them. I'm not interested in those type of movies.
If you could watch Games of Thrones,
I can't watch Game of Thrones. That's the point.
I'm
I'm not interested in those type of films and shows. I've not seen one episode of Game of Thrones. Not one. And I don't plan on watching it. I don't plan on watching it because it's just not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. So, hey, I'm sure it's great as everyone say it is, but I don't like it. You know, I'm gonna say I just don't like that type of stuff. All right, so American Gangster wins the upset here, if you want to call it that, because Schindler's was such this big film and it won all these Oscars and blah blah blah. But hey, it has to go. So number 12, The Lost World Jurassic Park versus number 12, Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Anyway.
Just next. Lost World, sorry. Next.
Jurassic Park. Yeah, we can just keep going. Ain't nothing to talk about. Just keep going.
Lost World, we'll get it. I mean, it's
by default.
By default, right?
Jump.
Next, Amistad, number 13, Amistad versus number 13, Hannibal.
Hannibal. Let's keep it moving because ain't nothing to talk about with Amistad.
Give us free. Give us free.
Man, you know what?
I'm going with Hannibal.
Amistad is one of those movies that was that's the main agenda movie, because it was around that time that Amistad came out. It was starting to be known, and it quickly got buried, of how much Jewish people were, especially Spaniard Jews, were involved in the slave trade, and how much money they actually made from the slave trade. It's actually kind of sort of said that most of the wealth of Jewish people came from the slave trade, especially from Spanish Jews who were, from Spain, they basically owned a lot of the ships, and helped anyway. So, but so
I'm going with we went. I'm going with Hannibal. Yeah, I don't like Amistad.
I'm gonna go with Hannibal, although it certainly is not the book, because in the book, the end is a whole lot different. In the book, Clarice and Lecter actually become boyfriend and girlfriend, and he turns her into a cannibal. That's how the book ends.
Wow.
Yeah. But there are certain moments in Amistad which really make you cry. The part where they got fed up of being on the ship, and the one guy, he jumps into the ocean, and everybody that was attached to his chain said, "Let's do it." And like that was like, wow, like damn. I mean, there are moments that make you cry, but I'm going to say that, and no disrespect to Steven Spielberg, but I think if it was in the hands of a black director, maybe it has more of an impact where you can really feel it compared to him.
Like I said, the reason honestly, in my honest opinion, the reason why that film was made was because of what was the stuff that was being revealed, and a lot of the stuff that was being revealed, it was being revealed by rabbis, by Jewish rabbis. A lot of this stuff was being revealed and being talked about with Jewish rabbis. So it was like, it was like one of those quick. I don't want to call it quick, but it was like one of those things to kind of clean it up, kind of trying to clean up, the image of the slave trade, which anyway,
they tried to make it seem like it really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. I mean, you guys had it good. No, bitch, no, we did.
Yes, again, I just want to point out this one thing. Again, this is my problem with him specifically and that movie. This thing where the truth is not 100% being told about the African slave trade, and we're not. Let's not even talk about the Black Americans that were already here in this land when the Europeans came here, that were already on the East Coast before the Europeans even came here. There were already Black people here that were natives that were here already on the East Coast, specifically down by the Carolinas, and those people were enslaved first, along with other Native Americans that were slaved first before they even brought slaves here from Africa. Like they don't even correctly tell that story. Like it's so infuriating between Hollywood and our educational system. It needs a complete overhaul because we've just been basically lied to, and this is the reason why we're in the state that we're in now with this country. Sorry to go left with it, but that I just need to get that out.
Seriously, brother.
Yeah. So
no facts. It's all facts.
But he's not. I was about to say I mean, I may not totally agree, but I'm gonna say you ain't 100% wrong with that at all. Nowhere, shape, or form. You know, I think that as far as a slave movie, I think that 12 Years a Slave probably comes the closest to what it actually was really like to give people an idea of what really happened as from slavery. I mean, obviously, there's no one still alive from that particular point in time to give you like firsthand account. Like you can get people from World War II or Vietnam tell you what Vietnam and them was really like, but you can't get anybody from the 1800s tell you what slave was.
Listen,
slavery was like.
I'll go as far as to say this: if you want to keep it actual factual, and actual Black historians and true historians, whether black or European American, true historians will actually tell you that people who actually went around in the South to talk to somebody, to talk to former the last generation of people who were actually slaves, after slaves were emancipated. A lot of these slaves didn't even want to tell their stories.
Nope.
They didn't want to talk about the horrors of slavery after they got freed from slavery. A lot of them didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So those first-hand accounts that they want to talk about, some of that stuff is speculation because they don't. A lot of the old Black slaves didn't really talk about that or really go into great detail about it. Once they got off the plantation, they left it there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so there we go. Hannibal moves on. Okay, number 14, Saving Private Ryan versus number 14, Black Hawk Down.
I'm taking Saving Private Ryan, man. That first 20 minutes was like, fuck.
Yeah,
that was intense. That was intense, boy. I like Black Hawk Down though. That had some.
I did too. But that first 20 minutes,
both are dope movies. But Saving Private Ryan was.
Yeah, that beginning of Saving Private Ryan was intense.
I think when I first saw that, it definitely wasn't in the movies. I think either my dad or somebody in my house was watching it, and I just happened to walk in the house and walk past the TV. And I was like, is that normal? Is that they're storming the beaches? And I just got my eyes locked on the TV screen, and I sat down. And whatever I went in the house for, I didn't go back out until the movie was over, because I actually sat down and got caught up in the movie. Great movie though, great movie. And Black Hawk, and there's no knock on Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down was a very good movie. Very good movie. But Saving Private Ryan, as the new line that says now, that shit hit different.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that in the movie theater, and I mean, like you're just sitting down, getting comfortable in your chair, taking your first pieces of popcorn, and then bam, you stuck right in the middle. I mean, I equate that probably as like the second greatest film opening ever, right after Star Wars. It's Saving Private Ryan, because that first 20 minutes is like, God, like you don't see it coming, because I think at that point we were used to seeing a whole bunch of war movies where like they storm the beach and it's all nice and quiet and they're sneaking up on the beach. There's like no, that's not how it really was. This is how it really was.
Oh, they brought you right in. He brought you right into the action. He brought you right into the thick of it.
Right. Like I said, I watched. I think that was the thing that really grabbed me, because I couldn't tell whether I was watching a movie or whether I was watching a documentary when I first walked in the door and was looking at it. And I'm just looking. I'm like, wait a minute, this thing is in color. And then when I saw the Germans in the pillboxes and they were lighting up the beach, I was like, what in the frack is this? And I at that point, I had to sit down. I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, Saving Private Ryan.
when they drop the doors on those transports,
Yeah.
and they just started lighting up the inside. When I say it hit different, it hit different. Like I was sitting there like, I think that's the first war movie that I ever cried on. I was just sitting there looking like, holy crap. And then I'm looking at my dad, because I'm looking at him because my dad was in Vietnam. So I'm looking at him, and you could just tell by the expression on his face, like it was kind of sort of all too it was familiar, but it was
flashback, like man, like all of a sudden you're taking right there.
Yeah.
And see, like for me, like I said before, I like sound. I saw Saving Private Ryan theater. So I mean, as soon like you said, as soon as those doors open, you're hearing whip, and you're hearing bullets flying by. Like, yo, what?
Yep. You know what? That was one of the things that stuck. It was kind of haunting, and that kind of stuck with me. Was just the and then the sounds of the bullets and the tracer rounds hitting the inside of the transports. I was just like,
bouncing off the helmets. It was like, damn,
man, crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Most definitely. All right. Well,
and after that, I just want to say one more thing. After that, there have been so many movies that have tried, like with Wonder Woman and so many other movies that have tried in their own way, tried to recreate that with other scenes.
Can't do it.
And you just, and I don't mean recreate that specific. I mean create that type of. They tried to capture that feeling with the same kind of scenes, like with the like in movies like not Inglourious Basterds. What was the other one with Brad Pitt?
Fury. Damn good movie.
Fury. Like
Fury was
another one, yeah. Like that. That was that. Actually, Fury is the only other movie that actually really captured that same type of emotion with that, with some of the scenes that they had. So.
Well, I tell this story when I was a kid. My stepmother, her brother, he was in the army, and we all went one time. He took me to the movies with a bunch of his army guys, and we went to go see Rambo, right? When Rambo First Blood Part 2, and they were all cheering Rambo, But then the next year we went to go see Platoon, and they all started crying in the theater, right? That's the first war movie that I ever saw where you actually saw people crying in it, because it was just so realistic. My uncle said it's almost note for note what I really went through when I was over there,
Yeah.
And
wow, that's scary.
Yeah, and to see the emotions coming out of the soldiers that were sitting in the audience who have long since retired or some still active, to see, because they were pretty much shunned when they came back to the U.S. They were
shunned.
That's not even the word.
Shunned is being light.
That's what I'm saying. That's being real light. That's not even the word.
But to see the emotions come out of them and looking at this movie, and I always say like I saw 30 soldiers cheering at Rambo, but those same 30 soldiers crying at the end of Platoon.
Yeah. And I'll put it like this before we move on. Vietnam and being in the Marines affected my father so bad that he said my kids will never, none of them will ever join the military.
Yeah.
Ever. My father, I finally found out the true story later on. I knew that he had hit somebody. He still got an honorable discharge when he left, but he had an honorable discharge with an asterisk, because he knocked out he knocked out somebody's teeth, and the only reason why he actually got in trouble for it, because they tried to cover it up, but the only reason why he actually got in trouble for it is because when he punched the guy in the mouth, the guy's tooth, one of his front teeth, got stuck in my father's knuckle, and he ended up getting a bad infection. And they have a name for that, Ralph. I think you know what it is, because you fight, you do martial arts, and I can't remember what the name of that is. but they have it's a term that they have for it when you hit somebody in the face, and they're and you walk away from the fight, but their some of their teeth actually get stuck in your fist. And,
yeah, it's called he got his ass whooped. That's what it's called.
No, but there's an actual term for it. There's an actual term for it because people have actually died from that. Like it's from sepsis because all the bacteria and stuff that's in the mouth because the tooth gets stuck in your hand, and people have not realized it, and they've either died from sepsis or ended up having to get their hands amputated.
Oh,
But
I thought you went the other people. I was about to say, it's the 5 palm of
you stupid.
it's the 5 palm exploding heart trick.
Yeah, but
yeah. So,
but after that, that was after the guy. I believe that was after the guy made the comment that more of you niggas should have died. In Vietnam.
He got his ass whooped.
Vietnam. Another side note is actually I think very underrated and very underrated with the way they told the story because they didn't dwell on it. But I actually like the way the Hughes brothers did in Dead Presidents, their little small portion that they did.
Oh yeah,
in Vietnam. That was very good. That was very good. Always overlooked because it wasn't a war film, but it had that one section where it was in the war, and that was dumb. But it does show how they were treated when they came back.
Yeah,
of course. So I mean, Dead Presidents was just
and the PTSD and stuff that they were dealing with, and the fact that a lot of them were dealing.
He got hooked on drugs over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then came back home, and that ended up being his demise. You know what I'm saying? The heroin and stuff like that. It was just.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember where I heard this, but I think it's one. It's not just like it's not a conspiracy theory thing, but I believe it's one of those. Vietnam was one of those wars where they said that part of that war was about drugs. It was about heroin and the poppy fields, and not just about them fighting North Vietnamese.
There was a lot of stuff in there that they should have never been over there, but that's a whole nother story. We won't even get into that.
That's a whole nother.
It should have never been there. All right, so let's move on. Let's try to get through this list. It's 15 is AI, artificial intelligence, versus your favorite movie, Ralph, The Counselor.
First of all, I'm gonna say this once again. I'm even insulted.
Yo, I was scraping the bottom of the barrel with him. I told you he didn't have enough films to really compare to Spielberg's films. I had to cut down Spielberg films just to get down to 24.
Well, I mean by superiority, I'm going with AI because The Counselor is
and that's actually one of the only reason why I matched them up is because to me that's one of the weakest films on Stephen King's list was that AI, artificial intelligence, to me.
But it really isn't. It really isn't one of his weaker movies.
Maybe, but I liked it maybe better than Ready Player One. Maybe, I don't know.
Ready Player One was.
It was alright. It was alright.
No. Ready Player One. Let's call Ready Player One what it was. It was trash. It was Steven Spielberg. It was trash. It was Steven Spielberg. Listen, it was Steven Spielberg being mad that he was no longer relevant, and that Marvel Studios came along and was like, like a Tribe Called Quest said, "Thank you, we got it from here."
No, I don't think that. Now,
let's get back. Let's reserve that. Let's reserve that. Let's put a pin. Let's put a pin in Ready Player One because we gotta get to that. That we're on artificial intelligence over the Counselor.
I keep saying the only thing good in The Counselor, the only scene that was good is memorable, is Cameron Diaz masturbating on the car.
On the car, on the hood, right?
On the hood. That's
I didn't even remember that movie.
Well, good. You're not missing nothing. You're not missing a damn thing.
He said you ain't missing nothing. All right, cool. God damn. Tell him how you really feel, bro.
I'm sorry. You're not missing a damn thing. It's an all-star cast and an all crappy movie.
Tell them how you really feel. All
You're not
right,
missing
so
a damn
I'm
thing.
going with AI over the council. The council kind of sucked anyway. So
Kinda. That's being light. Kinda.
I know. All right, let's go. Let's move on.
Diaz owed
16.
me some money for that movie. I'm sorry.
Number 16, The Minority Report versus number 16, Prometheus.
Does it even matter? Why is this even a conversation? Like I don't. And I love Prometheus. I thought that was a very good origin movie. By Scott.
I like that. I did like that they kind of went back and kind of, with this one, like he waited this long, but it's kind of like an origin flick. Because I'm be honest with you, when I went to see it, I had no idea what it was about. I never saw a trailer for it or anything.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like a treat for me to kind of discover what it was about. You know what I mean? Because I was just like,
oh, I was from the moment that they announced it, because I love H.R. Geiger, which is from he's from Alien and all of that stuff. He's the guy who did that for them, who came up with the imagery for that. So it was just like I just wanted to see where were they going to go with this, being that Geiger is not around anymore. Were they going to draw inspiration from that? Exactly where were they going to take it? And I loved it, but shit, Minority Report,
like you said, that shit hit different.
Real different.
Like that they say, like the youngins say now, that hit different.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And that's another Philip K. Dick film. Philip K. Dick story made into a film.
Yeah. But I agree with what Karen said. I mean, yes, I did know that it was an alien movie. It was an alien, but not an alien movie. Like they were going to sprinkle like little pieces of DNA in it to let you know it's an alien, right? But Minority Report, it does hit you differently because it gives you a real clear glimpse of where we're going in the future. You can certainly say that one. And man,
and then just imagine Philip K. Dick wrote all of these movies in the 50s and 60s. He wrote these books in the 50s and 60s, right?
He knew where he was going.
He died before the first movie was ever made, Blade Runner. He was dead before.
Him, Orson Welles, and all of those cats like that. Those dudes were like way ahead of their time.
Philip K. Dick. When you think about the Minority Report, you think about Blade Runner. You think about
Total Recall.
Total Recall. You think about the Adjustment Bureau. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these different,
especially the Adjustment Bureau.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, yo, this dude back then thought of this. Wow. The Minority Report. When I saw the Minority Report, I was like, yeah, he could have been. I was like, he could have been Stark. That's what I was saying. Because when they were talks about him playing Tony Stark, when I saw the Minority Report, I was like, oh shit, he could have been Tony Stark.
Yeah, he could have been Tony Stark.
He could have been Tony Stark.
It still pisses me off that the TV show got canceled. Megan Good was that's she was doing the damn thing in that, and I hate the fact
it didn't get a chance. It didn't really get a chance.
Not really.
Fox.
It was
Fox, wasn't it?
It's Fox. What do you expect?
What do you expect? It wasn't giving that a chance.
To this day, like they started a new show called Next. This show started out great. 3
Is it
episodes.
based on the film?
No, not Next to Film. Not Next to Film with Nicolas Cage. This is a different. This is a TV show about AI, about artificial intelligence that actually starts to take over the planet, and it starts killing people to hide itself. Great. The premise of the show, everything great. 3 episodes in, I think it got canceled. I've been looking at my damn DVR, my streaming DVR, and the episodes still haven't been updated.
Well,
it went on It went on a 2-week hiatus because of baseball or something like that.
But I mean, they may have still been filming it. Maybe they just had to stop because of COVID.
No, I think it was. I think that might be the case, but no, because they said
even Power Book 2 had to stop
said,
for a while because of COVID. They had to go back. They just went back not that long ago and finished the first half of the second half of the first season.
Oh,
Power Book 2. That's what happened.
That could be what it is. But they said that the episodes were to resume in 1 week later. And this was after what's that? LA's Finest. The Bad Boys
canceled too, I think.
Oh, that got canceled?
Yeah, that got canceled too.
It was garbage. It was garbage.
No, it's good. I like it. It's good. They're still showing episodes of it. So they must
wait, hold on.
The whole season must be shot.
The thing with LA Finest is that it comes from a different network. Fox just picked it up. But it's on. I think their streaming service. I think it's like in season 2, season 3. So all they did was just pick it up from there because they had nothing else to put on this year. But I saw the first episode. I'm like, come on, man, Jessica Alba tough as a cop. Come on.
No. It actually. If you keep watching it, the way they did her backstory.
Yeah. She knew the guy that was like the major criminal, and he covered for her, and now she feels guilty, and he thrown up in her face.
That's not what it is.
How is this a spinoff of Bad Boy from Gabrielle Union's character?
Yeah.
Is that what makes this a spinoff of Bad Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's little tidbits of DNA from Bad Boys in the movie. And they kind of give you an idea as to why.
I thought she was a cop in Bad Boys.
No,
yeah.
she was a DEA.
She was the sister.
Agent.
She was the sister. She was DEA.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now
I know she was the sister of Martin's sister or something. Like
yeah,
that.
she was. She was Martin's. She was
DEA. Okay, yeah, that was the second Bad Boys. Right?
Yeah, so she took a step down. Took a step down from DEA down to regular cop. Okay, that's the first thing. Like most people don't go down; they go up.
Oh no! Actually, she didn't take a step down. The reason why she became a cop in L.A. was because while she was with the DEA, which is what ties into her original story, is the fact that she had got when she went to go undercover, and somehow they figured out who she was. They figured out that she was a cop.
She was assaulted. I think she was raped.
And they beat her within an inch of her damn life, and put her in the hospital. So she ended up, you
told Harpo to beat me. You told Harpo to beat me.
But you know something? Honestly, with that being said, then it kind of makes Will Smith's character now a douche, because from me watching, I kind of got the thought that when that happened, the two of them were still together, and then they broke up. Because I know once she said that she had got pregnant, so the question was, did she break up with him?
They asked her and Lowry actually broke up. They actually weren't together anymore when that happened with her.
I see. I gotta look, because I was getting the impression that they were still, when that happened, they were still together.
I haven't watched.
She was actually seeing somebody. If you watch the show, she was actually seeing.
I haven't watched the show yet. I may take a look at it. But yeah. But all right. Let's move forward. So, okay, we're up to Minority Report and Prometheus. What did we go with? Minority Report, of course.
Yeah.
All right. Catch Me If You Can. Number 17. Catch Me If You Can. Versus number 17, Matchstick Men. Matchstick Men wasn't bad though. Don't laugh.
No, I'm laughing. I'm thinking about the poster of him walking around with the bow and arrow. That's why I was laughing. But I'm still gonna take Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I did truly enjoy that, and. I mean, come on! You got a director directing these two mega stars at this point in time, and I just thought the story, like they say, it's based on a true story. It gave me the appearance that maybe that really did happen the way it was
Well, I'm sure some of it was fabricated, but it was based on a true story. He was the dude that was forging checks and stuff like that. He was like a master at forging checks. So I mean, the whole thing that he learned how to be a damn pilot and all that—that's crazy. I mean, if that's true, that's scary as hell. But anyway, okay. So Catch Me If You Can moves on. All right, number 18, War of the Worlds versus number 18, Alien Covenant.
Man.
Ooh,
that's actually tougher than I think, because I really like World Wars, but Alien Covenant. Now the alien has really been created and is starting to get loose, and not only get loose, get educated about what it actually is. Man,
I'm actually going with War of the Worlds because and I love Alien Covenant, don't get me wrong. But War of the Worlds was that was a very good remake of a classic.
Very true. One of the few.
One of the few.
All right. I do have to go with War of the Worlds too, because like it was a really well quality made remake. They shot it in Newark. Some parts they shot in Newark, which was like, wow. Steven Spielberg is walking around downtown Newark with Tom Cruise. And they're not lookalikes. They're really Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg.
What?
Yeah, that's what changed my whole that movie changed my whole perspective on lightning. Like I see a lightning strike and I'm just like, okay, yeah, we need to
Man, you were right here in Central Florida, boy. It looked like you about to get struck down by lightning. The lightning here in Central Florida is ridiculous, yo. Like literally when during the summer it's like lightning season. Like all we do is have light thunder and lightning storms, and it's like don't go out the crib, yo. Before I moved to Central Florida, I never heard about anybody getting struck by lightning, and since I've been here, I done heard a bunch of stories, like at least 2 or 3 stories, and I've only been here 5 years about somebody getting struck by lightning.
Well, for me personally, I can tell you, I did hear of lightning strikes before because my stepbrother is from Fort Lauderdale. So and I got family from Memphis and from Georgia, and specifically in Georgia, when you're out in the field working or you're out in any kind of field, if the sky starts getting dark gray, and the wind picks up, get your ass out of the field and get away from any trees. Because guess what? you are a prime suspect to get your ass lit the hell up.
I'll tell you, man. I see some cats. Like I said, since I moved here. When I moved here, now all of a sudden, I'm got stuff coming across my timeline. Oh, so and so Seminole County gets struck by lightning. I'm like, what? I'm like, dudes is getting struck by lightning. Like, listen, I've never.
So many.
That's crazy.
There was a point in time that I remember back in the late '80s, and even coming forward to today, where you hear a lot of like soccer players. You would hear a lot of kids during practices, during high school practices, in southern and in Bible Belt states, like Midwestern Bible Belt states, like during tornado season and stuff like that. These kids be out on the football field practicing, and they have anytime there's a storm, they evacuate everybody off the field because there's been too many times where players be out on the field. And I remember watching one video where they showed like the lightning strike hit the field, and like everybody who was on the field fell right the fuck out. And the lightning didn't even physically touch anybody. It just hit the ground, the wet ground that was around everybody, and knocked them all on their ass.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, that proves that it happens. When Thor did it, when he came down with Stormbreaker, and he hit the ground in Infinity War, and everybody fell down. So there you go. The law of physics works. All right, let's move forward. Let's get through this thing. we're at number 19, Munich events. What is? Why did I get cut off? Someone to watch over me. Did that get cut off?
But I don't care what you talk about, because Munich is my shit. I have watched that movie back to back to back to back to back. I played that movie and watched it again after finishing watching it. That Eric Bana and all of that movie. I adore movies.
So right now, Steven Spielberg is.
I adore movies about Nazi hunters.
Right now, Steven Spielberg is up 11-7.
Hey, don't say that too loud, man. Vince Diesel might be watching the show, and that might be the name of the next movie. Vin Diesel, Nazi hunter. You might see that next.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm going to get at to Munich too. Once again, it's another Steven Spielberg growing up. Actually, it's the first movie that he actually did where there's actually nudity in the movie.
12,
because even though the girl was naked in Jaws, you never really saw her body. But in this one, I think this is the first movie he made where there's actually a sex scene in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nudity in the sex scene in the movie is Munich. Because there really isn't any nudity in any of his movies. I mean, Amistad does, but it's not a sex scene. There's more because the slaves were half dressed or whatever, But the whole telling the story of the Israelis hunting down the people that bombed the Olympics. It's kind of like, damn, man, maybe we should have did that shit too and kind of kept it quiet and just went hunting people down.
Yeah.
I love those movies, whether it's that, Nazi hunters, anything that has to do, any movies that have to do with hunting down criminals, specifically the way they did it, like man, that movie is just so good. It's like I rate that up there with oh god, what's the sniper movie with what's her face from the Mummy movies, Raquel Weisz, Rachel Weisz.
The sniper movie.
Yeah, with Rachel Weisz and what's his name? God damn it, what's his name? Enemy at the Gates.
Oh, Enemy at the Gates. Yeah. That was good too. Yeah. All right, so that moves on. Munich. Number 20 is Adventures of Tintin. Tintin. Sounds like a dog. Adventures of Tintin versus White Squall.
Man, I had to give it to Adventures of Tintin. I mean, White Squall was okay, and Tintin.
I just thought Tintin was okay.
That's what I'm saying. Because you got Spielberg and you got Peter Jackson doing this thing. If one of them did it by themselves, it would have been a whole lot differently. But
this shouldn't even count. This shouldn't even count. Like the other movie, if it's multiple directors, it shouldn't count.
Well, I think in this one, Spielberg directed it, but Peter Jackson produced it.
Yeah, Spielberg directed it.
Yeah,
it wasn't two directors; it was just Spielberg.
But you had these two heavyweight directors. I mean, because even though Peter Jackson produced it,
I mean, they're both heavy producers as well.
Right. I mean, you don't think Spielberg said, "Well, I want to put this in there," and they probably butted heads. I think it could have been better if only one of them was the director and producer. I think it would have been better. It would have been more cohesive.
Sometimes, no, I don't think. I don't think. I didn't see the movie, but I don't think that's. People say that a lot. I don't think in this case, with many other cases where you have a big director and you have a big producer, that that actually affects the movie. I think if a movie is badly directed, it's on the director. I honestly don't think to a degree would have a lot to do with that. That's just my own personal take on it. With that, again, I haven't seen this movie, so I can't say either way. But just from film experience, I would say you have to put the blame more so on the director than the actual producers. Unless the only way you could blame the producers more is if there was a bunch of interference from the producers from behind the scenes. Then that's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah, but After 4, I'm gonna give it to 10-10.
Going
White
10-10.
just okay.
Yeah, they both to me were just okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess 10-10, whatever. Like I said, I don't think if neither one of these movies ever existed again, it wouldn't bother me. So.
Exactly. I've been okay. I would have been fine.
Okay, Warhorse, number 21. We're doing 24 with them, so let's try to get through these so we can end the show. Number 21, Warhorse from Steven Spielberg versus number 21, A Good Year, Ridley Scott.
Sorry.
I didn't see either one of these. So.
I did not like A Good Year. Look, people. Russell Crowe is Maximus, right? You try to change him into anything other than Max, anything up to a strong character. He's not a romantic lead. That's not his forte. It's not. That's not George Clooney. George Clooney can do that. He can give you the romantic lead, but he can't give you the deep action movie. He can't do that. I'm sorry. He can't give you the believable
deep action movie.
I can't say that because I saw The American the other day and I was like, George Clooney was pretty good in it.
Yeah. Wasn't bad.
What? Pretty good. Yo, he bodied that. I thought it was pretty good. That movie was great.
Yeah, Clooney's a better actor than I don't know if he's. He gets a lot of credit. I can't say that he give him credit for it. He gets a lot of credit. I thought he was overrated. I thought he was a little overrated, but I did think that he earned his.
He's earned his stripes. He's earned his stripes. So I'm not, but I'm saying it was better than what I thought it was going to be. That's why I said no. He was pretty damn good at it. Although the girl that was in, I was like Lori, where the hell you find her at? Because geez, But Russell Crowe is an action guy.
Yeah,
that's really what he is. I mean, you can sit there and say he was romantic in A Beautiful Mind, but he's playing a real person.
Yeah.
But even still, most other movies playing, he's not that guy. That's Maximus. That's Jor-El.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what makes up for that. What makes up for that movie? Go see, if you guys have not seen it, and I suggest you see it in the theater to really appreciate it because I did. Is Unhinged. Yo, Russell Crowe is
out on Blu-ray tomorrow.
He is a fat, nasty piece of shit.
Yep.
But he's fabulous at it. Oh my god!
Because he's Maximus. That's why he can do that stuff.
Stupid. Russell Crowe was really good in A Beautiful Mind. So
yes, he was. But most people will lead him to that.
Shout out to Maddie. I saw she was in the building. I don't know if she's still in the building, but Maddie, what's up? Shout out.
Not to go off on a tangent, but Unhinged is the perfect example of why don't lean on your horn. It's spoiler. And do not be overly aggressive if you can't back your shit up when you're in traffic. If you're gonna be, because people like me will follow you home. And listen, he wouldn't follow her ass home. Like
That's funny. Yeah, that comes out tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
great.
All right, so I guess what are we giving this to? The Warhorse?
Yeah, because Russell Crowe is not the romantic lead. No, man. What's wrong with you?
I didn't see it. I haven't seen any of his movies. 22. I haven't seen these either.
No, you didn't see none of these?
No.
Okay. 22. That's the film about basically Christopher Columbus.
Another horrible movie.
Another Christopher Columbus movie. None of them were really good except Apocalypto.
Yeah.
That was Apocalypto. Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, but
the
that
other
wasn't
one
really
too. The other one.
That was really about the natives. It wasn't about Christopher Columbus.
Columbus, right?
Yeah.
No, the other one like that was about the Vikings with what's the homeboy from
Yes.
From damn, what's his name? Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Carl Urban, and that's the one that had Moon Blood God in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
All
a
right,
good one.
so
That was a real good one.
let's breeze through this. So, we have Lincoln. Well, wait, we giving that to Warhorse, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so. It looks like
I wasn't
Spielberg's
really
going to take
about
it.
seeing a movie about a horse.
Yeah, right.
But
Lincoln.
in retrospect, I did like many years ago. I did like the Black Stallion, and it's about a boy and his horse. But I love that movie. I really.
Yeah.
It was on as long as I was sitting there like that 9-year-old kid all over again.
I used to fuck with the horse movies, man. Shit.
I love
used
the
to watch
Black
some
Stallion.
shit.
The Black Stallion was one of the movies that was on the thing I was talking about in the beginning, the show and tell.
Yeah,
that was another one of the movies that was another one of the slides and records that they had for the Fisher Price show and tell was Black Stallion.
So it looks like Spielberg's going to take this one. Because then next is Lincoln versus I just call it the Christopher Columbus movie.
Yeah, I didn't see either one of these.
Bridge of Spies.
I like Lincoln. I did like Lincoln. Lincoln was
decent. Yeah,
it was decent.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I definitely, because we gotta finish up here, and I'm not gonna go off a script, but I could, my shit was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't need to see anything else.
Harriet Tubman and Abraham.
That's all I needed to see. I didn't need to see anything else about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That's what I'm talking about. That shit was fire.
That shit was so fire, and I'm so glad I got to see that in the movie theater because I was not expecting for that to be what it was.
That was fire.
See, I didn't see it, but I know they've been running on HBO lately, and I'm gonna have to check it out because I thought it was gonna be stupid.
Dude, it was fire, bro. You gotta watch it.
I have that on DVD and digital, and when we get off the phone, when we get off this show tonight, I'm watching that on digital while I do my work tonight. Because that was that scene on top.
Maddie says I did all right with the lineups tonight, so she's proud. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. See, but he still tried to set us up. Early. Come on, you put Gladiator against ET, man. Come on. You gotta make me choose between Elliot and Maximus. Come on,
man. That's what I'm talking about. So okay. It's no way that Ridley could win at this point, but yeah. Ready Player One versus The Martian.
Yeah, 23. I refuse to choose. I'm not choosing. Both of these movies were good.
Body of Lies was dope. I was actually gonna go with Body of Lies over it, but Bridge of Spies was really dope too. Damn.
You know what my knock against Bridge of Spies is it was a good movie, but my only gripe is more than a gripe is that the guy Rayon Lawrence won for Best Supporting Actor, and I'm sorry, it wasn't supposed to be him. That was supposed to be Stallone for Creed, and I gotta knock that onto the movie.
You mad about that?
I'm still.
I'm surprised. I really did want Stallone to win that one for Creed because he really did do a good job. He really did do a good job.
After that bullshit he did with that last Rambo, he don't deserve to win shit. Garbage.
Wow, man.
He did a good job in Creed.
He did a damn good job in Creed. He deserved it then.
I'm going with Body of Lies for that, so we'll give another notch to our boy. Did you go with Body of Lies on that one, Ralph, or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Body of Lies.
Good, because and this is the one time
he said I refuse to pick.
I refuse to pick.
Okay, the last one is Ready Player One, because this is like two of their more later movies that they made, I guess. Ready Player One versus The Martian.
The Martian wins because there's not shit to talk about Ready Player One. That piece of trash ass shit.
Look.
You trying to
America. All right.
Ready
Player One is not as bad as Kevin making it seem.
No,
but I will say this.
You will say this. You'll say what?
I love Ralph. Ralph is my
did
man.
make it
But Ralph
15 years too
Ralph is
late.
telling y'all some bullshit. Do not waste your time on Ready Player One.
No,
I saw it in the theaters.
I did too.
I saw it in the theaters, and that was a desperate ass. That's like the guy who makes a desperate attempt to get the girl back after she told him 50 million times, "Look, I cheated on you. I fucked your best friend. Why are you still coming here looking for me to?" Says, "I don't love you. I don't want to be with you." That's Steven Spielberg unable to grasp that. Listen, your time has come. Let other people do this. Like you took every. That's the boyfriend that goes out and buys a diamond ring, the roses, chocolates, and just goes all out. Goes to the mall and buys everything to get the girl back for her to be like, "Nigga, you're doing too much. I don't love you."
But I'm gonna keep it all anyway. Thank you, but no punani for you. No punani for you.
So Steven Spielberg wins 15-9.
Sorry, Ralph. I didn't mean to push you over in the trenches like that. But that movie was they just just over the top with they threw at you every freaking cultural reference that they could throw at you. It was just way too much.
It was over the top. Yeah, it was too much going on in there. I didn't think it was all that either.
I mean, it had the potential. It started out being a really good story, and then every 3 seconds, here's another pop culture reference. Here's another pop culture reference. Here's another. It's like, goddamn, what the? I listen. They might as well just. The only thing that's missing is Michael Bay and a whole bunch of shit exploding. What the?
The only thing I'm gonna say about Ready Player One, like I thought Ready Player One was okay. However, I do think that
was better than Ready Player One.
No. Scratching my foot is better than Speed Racer. Sorry. The only thing I'm gonna say about Ready Player One is that he made that. If he would have made that maybe 15 years ago, different story.
Even if it was 15 years ago, again, he just jammed 2A, which was very surprising for Steven Spielberg to do something like that. That's why I call it was a desperate attempt to try to get his mantle back after some of his box office records were broken, and
everybody's box office records were broken when the MCU came to town.
Yeah,
Infinity War, Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame, they just killed the game.
But that's always been expected. That like okay, so your movie comes out this year and it does more. You kind of like no, I don't think anybody has put up a record where you really think it's never going to be broken. I mean even now with Avengers Endgame. Yeah, we
know that's gonna be broken. It's gonna be broken by another Marvel film.
but it very well may not be a Marvel film. It very well may not be. Same thing with the Force Awakens. It may not be a Marvel film that beats it. It could be something totally different that no one's expecting. But it's not a number that can't be beat.
I'm sorry to bust your bubble, buddy. But at this point in time of life. Marvel reigns supreme, baby.
It's gonna be a Marvel film. It might be Black Panther 2. It might be Black Panther 2.
Listen, especially post-pandemic. Listen, let a Marvel movie drop post-pandemic. Hell, let Black Panther let the pandemic end and let Black Panther come in theaters. I guarantee you, everything is done.
No, I now see that one. I'm disagreeing with that one because it very well may not be a Marvel movie. I mean, not that I'm sitting there saying who knows. Man of Steel 2, they could do Man of Steel 2, and that's the movie that does it. And also, and that point you just said, once the pandemic ends. Once the pandemic ends,
only if Zack Snyder does it. If Zack Snyder does not direct that movie, it's going to be trash.
No, he'll direct it.
He may, and then he very well may not.
Or he might produce it.
But to that point,
I hope he directs it.
But that point you said, once the pandemic ends, Once the pandemic ends and people feel comfortable go back into the movie, you can then say any movie that you release that has that kind of potential could be the movie, because now everybody is so like realistically speaking, you could put the Bond movie in that category. The pandemic's over, and that next Friday, No Time to Die comes out. You already know it was destined to make $100 million opening weekend. Now you're dealing with these crazy numbers because people are desperate to go back out. So that's what I'm saying. It may very well not be
we'll see.
a Marvel movie.
We'll see how that pans out. But I'm thinking, right now it ain't gonna be. It's gonna be a minute, I think, before those movies get dethroned, because when you think about it, it took them 10 years to do it. It took them 10 years to get to that movie that broke the record, because they earned it. They built it up over 10 years.
Exactly.
So it was a payoff movie, and everybody was, they had to go see it.
And
I've been watching that again.
And not only that, we're in a culture now to where just because we don't want nothing else to win, we will go out and watch a movie 50 times just to make sure. To make sure.
Well, I wanted to make sure that got past Titanic or whatever. I mean, Avatar and all of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying one of the few, but I was not impressed with Avatar. I wasn't overly impressed with Avatar. I was overly impressed. I was overly impressed with the Avatar world that they made over in Disney World. That was dope. But
I'm sorry, but the thing with Avatar is Avatar and Star Wars had Star Wars and Avatar had two big things going for them. They came out during the end of the season where you have 3 big holiday weekends. That's what really got them over.
I mean, I'm just saying about the movie itself. The only thing I give it credit for is stuff that people don't even, the average persons don't know about, because they just watch the movie. I give him credit for the camera that he created. Camera, I give him credit for that, because he kind of started that technology that now they use for the Mandalorian, which they've taken it to a next level, where they have the LCD backgrounds now, sound stages, so they pretty much create the world right there, and you could see through the camera and see everything the way they got the camera set up. You could see all the preliminary visual effects for it that's put up on this, so like basically they're looking at their sound stage and they're looking at this world that they're on. And they're looking at this. I give Cameron credit for one of the first, or the first, to have to build a camera like he built for Avatar, where he can actually see the world in the camera.
And to his credit, he needed to do that for that movie. He wouldn't have been able to do. He wouldn't have been able to do it the way he did it without that.
Without that, he needed that.
He needed that to happen. I mean, in order to make Fern Gully come to life the way he wanted to make Fern Gully come to life,
that's true.
You needed to do that.
Yeah,
you really need to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like most definitely, that was.
It was a niche film, because they were saying, "Oh, you had this." Everybody saying, "Oh, you got to see this in 3D because it's way better in 3D." It's the same thing, just that the 3D was really popping and it was realistic 3D. So
that's that bullshit. Like when people was when people were saying you had to go see Release the Kraken in 3D. Lying ass motherfuckers. God damn it. I spent $80 goddamn on taking my kids to see that motherfucking movie.
Oh, you talking about Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Kraken.
We drove. I drove these. It wasn't really playing. They were like, "Oh, we want to see this movie. We want to see it so bad." My daughter, my stepdaughter was at Pace University at the time, and her dorm was in Brooklyn. And we went to go. I went and picked Junior and Isaiah up, and Imani was in Vegas at the time, I think, when that came out, so she couldn't go with us. And I drove to Brooklyn. I picked the boys up. We drove to Brooklyn, and then I went and got Monique, and then we parked like 8 blocks away from the movie theater. Some movie theater in Brooklyn. I don't even remember where it was. A good movie theater though. It was a good goddamn movie theater. I think it was brand new. But goddamn, $80 later, I walked out of that motherfucker mad as hell. I was like, what? Because this is one of those movies where they did a 3D post-production.
Yeah.
They didn't even use 3D cameras on the damn movie.
Nope.
And I'm just like, oh my god.
Somebody owe me a refund. That's what it needs to be. Somebody owe me a refund.
Well, next week, we'll come back. We'll do some of that stuff. Ralph, that idea you put in the room, we're gonna chop that up and figure out how to do that. And
that's easy. Each of us has to, because we all have seen doing these battles where we're putting like a director against director, and you see other battles where they're doing artist versus artist. Nobody has ever done a year versus a year. So what I'm suggesting is that the three of us pick the year of films that we personally like. You pick the best 20 movies, not the top 20 movies of the year, the best 20 movies that you feel that came out against that year, and we put them all, like your selections versus mine versus Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
So you each pick a year.
Well, I pick next year.
You can't pick next year because it hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened yet, man. We're still in 2020, so
we're still in 2020.
Knock on wood.
So you can pick any year up to 2020.
The world hasn't blown up yet.
I'm speaking potential release dates. I'm picking 2021.
Well, then I'm picking 2022 because then we're gonna have some real deep shit. But
we haven't seen those movies yet. So,
but that's the idea for each of you and three of us to pick 1 year. Where we
we got to pick 20 movies from 1 year. Maybe
20
we should.
movies out of
Being
1
it was
year.
3 of us, maybe we should narrow it down to 10 and not 20. There's 3 guys.
All right, then 10.
Going around robin.
Yeah. Or how about 15? You take 15 movies, right, that came out over the course of that year that stand out for you, and we go like Star Wars versus Jaws versus King Kong, some shit like that, where like you get and then we'll see who really had the better year as far as film.
I'm gonna say that's our criteria. We're just going by how good the film did, or
well, I mean, obviously the same thing we go by, like, you know, what it does, but like, does your movie in that year, was that better than your movie the year before, or whatever year you pick?
Okay.
You know, so that's cool. My suggestion. If we do it, I already have the year I want, so.
Okay.
I already know which year I'm going with.
This nigga go.
Look, he already got it. He already got
it. With the idea.
Where you at, Maddie? Get him. He's cheating already, Maddie.
I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. I am not cheating. Cause listen, we all have over the past 30 some odd years gone to the movies. And there are some years, and I'm not talking about summertime versus wintertime.
No, just the whole year. Yeah.
But there are some years where the movies that come out was like, wow, and there's some years like, it just wasn't really like 1 or 2, but it really wasn't everything, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
It's fine. We'll pick a year. I'm trying to think. It's gonna be tough. I gotta think about that. But I'm probably gonna go with like one of those years, like between 2010 and 20 and now. So it's gonna be one of them. It's gonna be one of them Marvel years. It's gonna be one of them good Marvel years.
Nope, I'm not even picking. Nope. I'm gonna tell you this. It's not anywhere from 2000. My year is not anywhere from 2010 to 2019.
No. I got you. I'm just saying. Other than that, I gotta think back. I gotta look up some years that
this is going to
really
has. This is too much. My memory ain't that good, and this is just too much fucking.
What are you talking about, man? You got a house full of movies. Just look in the damn box. Came out.
That's true. You just go to look at the box and see when they came out. You're like, oh yeah.
Well, shit, that means I gotta go in each box. I gotta pull a movie out. I gotta look the back of the box. My ass is 50.
I know you got an archive. You gotta have an archive by now, bro.
I do have a partial list.
You see this right here? You see this document right here I got? This is every single movie except for the new stuff that I just got. This is every single movie that I have. I have on an Excel spreadsheet. This is just page 1.
You happen to have it handy?
Yeah, because I bought some DVDs today, and I want to be sure I didn't have it. Right?
Okay. I'm like, you just happen to have they just pulled it there. This is my document.
Oh well, I do have that.
There are many others, but this one is mine.
No, I do have that from a program. I do have that from a old program that I used to use called DVD Profiler by Envelos. It's actually a dope cataloging system. where they pull
Excel spreadsheet.
Trust me, Ralph. Trust me. If you saw this program, you'd be like, "Oh, dip! I need to get that." It's a dope.
Because then I gotta type all this crap out again, and I already had typed it out
this
twice.
is what I'm saying.
not doing it again.
This program, you don't have to type anything out, except for if there's information that back then when it first came out, if there was information about the movie that wasn't there, then you added it to the thing. But you actually just put your DVD inside of your computer, it loaded up, and then it automatically downloaded everything from different sources, IMDb and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it literally catalogs, breaks everything down, director, actor, movie notes, how many discs are inside of the disc set.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I just need to know the name of it. If I got
but with that, they also have an Excel sheet breakdown of.
I'm sure. I was about to say, I'm sure there's some sort of printout or something.
Yeah,
send a link to it. I mean, I don't really need to keep the catalog anymore of my stuff, but because now I just kind of watch everything on Plex servers and stuff. But
he's a pirate person.
I'm still getting the digital. I'm still getting the hard media. I'm still getting the digital, the actual DVD. I bought 2 movies today. I think I got 4 yesterday.
Plex is legit, man.
I still got the hard copies. I'm not doing streaming and all that stuff until they say we're not making any more. Which Best Buy pretty much is saying that one.
I do both. Ralph, what you probably want to do is get Vudu, get a Vudu account. Because a lot of your movies, if you already have the digital copy for it that comes with the movie, you could store the digital copy on Vudu, and still have your physical media, but on Vudu, that if you don't have the digital copy that comes with it or the code for it, you could for $2 you could buy a standard, buy a standard edition, or for $5 you could buy the HD version of the movie.
Maybe somewhere down the line.
Or for $1.99, I'll let you get on my Plex server.
Well, I have my collection. I have both. I have, and I actually have doubles. I have my stuff loaded on Vudu, and then I have all of my stuff from Amazon, and then I have a thing called Movie. I think it's called Movie Magic, where all of my digital content is all pulled together in one place. So I don't have to go to Amazon, and I don't have to go to Vudu to watch all of my movies. I can just go right there, and it pulls up all of my movies. Which on digital, I think on digital I have like close to like 200 or 300 movies on digital. So
yeah.
Like I said, that's my suggestion, because I thought it would be something different, because I've never seen anybody do that type of battle before. Like
we'll figure out. Let's try to work that out, put together. If we don't get it in next week, we'll do it the week after. We want to make sure I gotta get my movies together. Yeah. I gotta get my year together. First of all,
I already got my year together.
It's all blurry to me right now. It's all blurry.
I got my year together. Set that up for Thanksgiving. Set that up for
next week. Thanksgiving.
I mean for you know what I mean. After Thanksgiving,
the show after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, we could do that. We'll set it up for the show after Thanksgiving.
All right.
And then next week we'll come back and do something.
I already know my year's gonna win. I just already know.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, of course, in your own mind, your year's gonna win.
That's right. All up in here, my mind, my year.
Yeah, bro. I'm about to, I might go light on you and not take one of these Marvel years.
I don't care what
I take the year that Black Panther and Infinity War came out. You're done.
Nope.
At that point.
Oh yeah, that's both of the same year.
They're both the same year. Didn't Captain Marvel come out that year too?
No. I think so.
I think it did.
Yeah, it was 3 movies that year. Yeah, it was.
That's okay. Take it. Take that year. It don't.
What else came out that year?
See, there you go. But see, right there. That's the mistake you guys, both of you go. I'm giving you.
I'm just messing with you though. I'm just saying.
That's the mistake that both of you guys are going to make. You're going to take the stuff.
That's your mistake. Your mistake is thinking that we're going to do something like that.
Okay. I got my year ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I remember archiving these years. I forgot why I did it too. I think we were doing it for like an end of the decade show, but that we never did. That's why I was doing it. I have a whole folder archiving the entire decade. So that gives me a start right there.
There you go.
That gives me a start.
Like I said, I'm ready. I thought about this. I was like, oh, I knew what year I was going with. But now I just said maybe I need to change it. But no, I'm sticking with what year I said. I'm sticking with what year I'm going with.
You might want to reevaluate that because I think you picked that year thinking we gonna be on some Marvel bullshit.
Nope. Not at all. That did not even enter my head that you're gonna pick Marvel. Because Marvel is like one movie, maybe 2 movies a year. There's still 18 more in that year that you still gotta pick out.
Yeah,
no, but there was one year that Marvel dropped 3. There was years where Marvel dropped 2 or 3 movies a year.
Even with that one, that's still one. That's we pick 20 and you take a year that Marvel dropped 3 movies. There's still 17 other bangers that you got to figure out came out over the course of that year. That's the hard part.
That's not hard for that year that Black Panther, Infinity War, and Captain Marvel came out. That year is actually not that hard. There were some good movies that came in that weren't in the theater that long. They were only in the theater for like 5 minutes. There were still some pretty good movies.
Yeah, there was.
Well, like I said, that's the real trick. That's the real trick. What 20 or 15 or 10 can you pull out that said, damn, that's the entire year. That's all I got. That's my starting lineup. Mm-hmm. That's the question. Question.
Hell, I know it. Now that I just thought about that, I know exactly what year I can go with to put it on Smash. I got 3 actually.
I got the year too.
Yo, it's crazy. I have to look at my list and then I'm thinking that I'm thinking about just the 3 years that I was married, the 3 years before that, and the 3 years after that were pretty fucking good in the movie theaters. Now that I'm thinking about it. Wow.
Actually, okay, I'm good.
You're good. You said, okay, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm.
Wait. Why I'm thinking about that one? Because now I'm.
Don't be trying to add and take away those and switch up the rules.
No. There's one rule. One rule. It has to be a film that actually came out over the course of that year, right? If it so let's say for example you pick 2002, okay, Lord of the Rings came out in 2001 into 2002, so it doesn't count in a list for 2002. It's in 2001. Mm-hmm. That's what you can't do. It has to actually been released.
Well, actually you can't. But actually, really, you can't do that because of the box office effect.
I understand that one, but
what's going to be our overall criteria for what movie? We're just going to go movie for movie, but what are we judging it by? What it made or what type of movie?
No, this is your criteria, right? Pick whatever year you pick out 20 films or 10 or 15, whatever we actually go with, that stand out to you that came out over the course of that year for whatever reason, right? And we're gonna take Wes's year versus Ralph's year versus Kev's year, and we're gonna take those films and we're gonna just mash them together into your round robin battle, and see who actually had the better year.
Okay,
that's it. But the only rule is that the film actually had to come out between January 1st of that year to December 31st of that year.
Mm-hmm.
It had to come out during that full calendar year. So even if it's a movie like Avatar that came out in 2009, but it made the most of its money in 2010, it doesn't count for 2010. It only counts for 2009 because that's when it actually was released.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We'll get back to that.
I got a cheat code for that.
Oh, you got you got a cheat code.
So you got a cheat code for that. Well, we'll see. We'll see where it lands. I mean, off the top of my head, there's a couple of years, but I need to go and do a little research. All right, cool. we're gonna end the show on that note. We'll come back next week. Thanks everybody for joining us. Maddie, of course. Sean Millings was in there, and then you have, of course, Joseph Tanner. A couple other cats popped in and popped out. Somebody popped out and was like, "Where's Evan Hollywood?" I was like, "Wrong show." But even though Evan Hollywood pops his head in here every now and then, but yeah. So next week we'll come back and we'll do this. We're not gonna do this one, but we'll do another one. It'll probably be. I'll probably go back to the actors again. We haven't did a female actor in a while, so we have to bring Judith. I'm still trying to find, just like I was trying to find someone to match up with this guy. I need to find somebody to match up with Meryl.
Tom Hanks. That's it.
We have to, it have to be. It can't be another female. It have to be.
No. I mean, and why just limit it to female versus female? I mean, let's just do actor for actor.
That's actor God damn it!
It's just actor for actor.
But they don't compete in categories in the Oscars and stuff like that. It's female and there's male.
Well, that's why shit needs to change. That's why
that's probably different. I mean, technically, the only person who I probably could see as female that you could put up against Meryl Streep is probably Susan Sarandon. That's really would be about the only girl I can really think, only woman I can really think of.
Right.
Or Diane Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possibly. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, well, it's all good,
Because
we'll figure it out.
Susan Sarandon got some hits up in there.
She does.
Come on. She's in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You could do Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Nicole got a lot. She got a lot of joints. Nicole did a lot of independent joints too, though.
Yeah.
She did a lot of independent joints, which I think that's dope. But I'm just saying, some of them, a lot of people are gonna be like, what?
Yeah, and I think
listen. You know what? If people are going up, well, you know what?
I think that's really about it.
Step up your movie game. It's good. I think it's good that we do this because I mean, even when Larry was on the show, and even with some of the movies that you guys talk about. But listen, and I know I've seen a lot of movies, but like I said, out of all of us, I'm the baby of the bunch with this. When it comes to this movie thing, specifically with knowing directors and books, I don't be caring about all that shit. I just like if the movie's good or bad. But you guys have definitely probably seen more movies than me. So I mean, I have a list over here of movies that you guys have talked about, especially being around Larry. That one time I went with Larry and them over to what's his face's house. I have a whole chest load of movies that I've been catching up on and I've been watching. So it's just I think it's good for the audience just to give them some new flavor to go outside of the box of what stuff we normally talk about. That's why I think it's good if we probably mix it up. And if you do pick some of the odd actors and actresses, because maybe that would, that'll introduce them to some stuff that we've probably seen that other people haven't seen. Make them go do their homework and watch some stuff. Let them get in on the joke. Because the one thing I hate, and some people hate me for it because some people call me a fucking know-it-all. It's not that I'm a know-it-all. I just happen to pick up a book, like to read, and I watch a lot of shit. So I hate. I don't hate to say this either. I hate not knowing shit. I hate being the dummy in the room. I like when somebody's talking about something that I have a little bit of an understanding what's going on, so that way I could, if they go off on left field, that gives me a better understanding about it. It makes me go home and want to research it and learn more about it. And I think being knowledgeable is just great. So that's one of the things that I love about doing this with you guys. It's like, shit that I don't know, I pick up from you guys and I go and run with it.
I think that's true. Director again. I just saw something on my timeline that we do a director. I think we should do. I still think we should do Christopher Nolan. But now I'm thinking maybe Christopher Nolan versus David Fincher.
David Fincher?
David
Fincher, not David Finch. David Fincher.
Oh, yeah, David Fincher. Yeah.
David Fincher is really good. He's got a lot of joints. And
The Game, man. If you've never seen The Game.
Oh, man. The Game. He directed a lot of stuff. The Social Network. That's
the one movie that I really thought there should be a sequel to is The Game. If you take the basic principle, and I said that if you take that principle and take it down like these so-called wannabe hip hop musicians that think they all crap, all world. You take the same principles of the game and put it into this now. You got something there.
Yeah. No, David Fincher has a lot. If I put him against Nolan, I'll see how it matches up. Because Fincher has about remember his features, his films are not as bad. Like he has a lot of things he directed. But David Fincher started out as a video director.
Yes, he did.
So he has a lot of stuff on his list, but they're music videos. He did a lot of music videos, and then he jumped into he's got Seven. He's got The Game. He's got Fight Club. Panic Room. He's got a lot of joints now. He's got a few joints.
I love Panic Room.
Benjamin Button.
Shit.
What'd you say?
Benjamin Button
is my shit.
Oh yeah, The Curious Case of Benjamin
Button. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got some joints. Girl Dragon Tattoo. Another good one.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
He's got some joints. Social Network.
There's no need to do him because he's a winner already.
Not
against no. Now, is he? If you really put him up against Christopher Nolan, is he?
Yes.
Gone Girl, Girl, my dude. Gone Girl, son. He did Gone Girl.
Nolan did
Girl with the dragon tattoo.
Nolan did Memento. I mean, come on, the entire movie is.
Oh, I forgot about Memento. Yeah.
That would be good. Let's try to match them up. I'm gonna try to put them together. Them together. You talk about Memento. You talk about the Batman movies.
Insomnia. Still,
Insomnia. Insomnia was crazy. That was a very good movie.
Speaking of which, all of these Nolan movies we're actually mentioning, I want to give a big shout out to Full Sail. My man Gary Rizzo, Full Sail graduate, worked on all of those films we're talking about. That's the dude you need to know, Ralph. He's the sound man. So all those great sound that you know.
We need to get him on the show, man, because
I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna try to get him on the show. From my alma mater, from my school, Full Sail, Gary Rizzo. He's a beast. He worked on all. He did the sound mixing for Dunkirk. He won an Oscar for that. He did the sound mixing for Inception as well.
See, come on, Inception. I don't care how many times you see Inception, it still messes with your mind. Like,
yeah, I'm waiting. Yo, I'm mad. I'm still mad. I'm like, that goddamn coin didn't stop. Did it stop?
I know.
I was like, that should piss me off. But anyway, maybe we can do that. I'm gonna try to match him up against. I mean, not match him up, but just put his movies up. I just gotta see how many movies David Fincher actually has. It's surprisingly, he's got like 93 directing credits, but out of that, it's probably gonna be like, I don't even know if it's gonna be 20 movies. He may have a little under 20 movies that he actually did, but we'll see. We'll put that together, and whatever we come up with him, we'll match it up with Nolan and see where we go with it. Because Nolan's a good director too. He's got some crazy stuff, but Fincher's a different type of director. He's not the same type of.
He's not the same guy, man.
Nolan. You know what I'm saying? He's not the same type. Because like when you talk about Seven, you know what I'm saying? Like this type of movie.
Then he backs up with Fight Club. Then he comes with The Game.
The one thing, the main thing that I can really say right now about all of this is that it's 2020, and I have a projector clock, and I'm actually looking at the time on the ceiling of my wall, on my ceiling, and I think that's pretty fucking awesome.
Okay, Spider-Man.
I know, right? So, yeah, that's what it is, man. We're going to definitely do David Fincher against somebody. I'm going to try him against Nolan, see if he matches up. I also got to figure out who am I going to put my man QT up against. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to put him against maybe like Oliver Stone. It got to be somebody who's like radical with this shit, like him.
Quentin Tarantino versus Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, that might be decent. That might be decent. Tarantino, that might be
Tim
decent.
Burton's gonna win that.
That might be decent.
Is he really? That's why I got Tim Burton. Is he
Tim
really?
Burton's doing that. Wes is going to try. Wes is going to try to set it up for QT
I ain't gonna
to
try
win.
to set nothing up for QT
And
to win.
he's going to try to do the bullshit.
Once again, like I said, when we always go
Tim
back
Burton's
to
gonna
these,
pull
when we
through.
go back to these, when we go back to these films, we gotta see how many films these cats actually.
Whatever,
have.
you're a cheat. You're a cheat. You're a setup.
I'm a setup.
I don't know, man. I think Tim Burton.
Tim Burton is like I said,
he's that guy, man. I mean,
he's dope. He is
well,
dope.
how? Nope. If you're gonna do somebody, well, Tim Burton versus Alfred Hitchcock. Well, no, because Alfred Hitchcock doesn't have that many
Alfred's
films.
got too many. His body of work is too big too.
To deal with Hitchcock, I don't think Hitchcock got nearly as much as Tim Burton does.
No, he doesn't. That's why I stopped myself, because he doesn't.
Yeah.
And also I think the problem with that particular battle is that, no disrespect to Alfred Hitchcock, but he's from a whole different time era.
Yeah, whole nother time era. Yeah, I know.
And while some of his movies still to this day, The Bird, Psycho, but the rest of his stuff, does it really have the same kind of impact that it did when it came out? I don't know.
Yeah, to me it does. For me it does. It's all in to me it's all in perspective, because his stuff is so niche that a lot of people didn't get a lot of his stuff. That's why a lot of his stuff didn't get a lot of critical acclaim later on, because it was so niche and just so I don't even think niche is the right word for it, but it is the right word. It just wasn't,
what about QT versus Scorsese? What about that one?
I hate fucking Martin Scorsese. Fuck him.
Come on, man. Most of this stuff is gangster movies. Okay.
That's not all he has. Are you kidding? It's not all he has.
Listen,
the most of his stuff is
Marty is stuck. Marty is stuck in a time warp.
Yeah.
Marty has some joints.
Yeah, he has
Raging Bull.
He's got
Raging Bull, Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I mean
Marty
he's got
stuff. Marty is a bitch ass. Period.
Gangs in New York.
As far as I'm concerned, outside of Gangs in New York, Marty Scorsese can kiss my ass, because he should have never said that shit he said about.
He said what he said, but he's still a great director.
I don't care. I put him up there with R. Kelly.
Director.
He's a perv. He's a perv, and he's no goddamn good.
That's going a little much, man. Putting him in that.
He ain't no perv. You talking about Woody Allen? You talking about?
Yeah, that's Woody Allen.
That's Woody, not Marty.
He perverted. He perverted the fact that Marvel is a good movie company just because
Wolf of Wall
he's
Street.
mad.
Come on, man. He got some joints now.
No
joints.
No doubt he does.
See, that's what. Now that's the very thing that I'm talking about. That was a movie that I to this very day that I put off for years. That you two have been talking about, like, yo, you need to see this movie.
God,
you need to see this movie, and I still keep putting it off.
Oh, when you see that movie, bro, you're gonna. You're going to love it. You're gonna love, bro. You're gonna love that movie. I ain't telling you nothing about it. See the movie, bro.
Yo,
The Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm just gonna say one thing. Margot Robbie butt naked.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. Margot's so stunning in that movie. But yo, this movie is so crazy, and it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
So that's what's funny. That's messed up about it too. And you sitting there like, yo, this movie is wild, yo. That's the movie he should have won an award for. I'm sorry, he killed it. Yeah. Leonardo killed that shit. He killed that movie.
Next.
I mean, the Revenant he got it for. I'm good. That's fine. But I'm just saying he killed the Wolf of Wall Street.
Now, see, like that. I'm sorry, and maybe we should do that show. Like the people that actually won Oscars, the movie you won the Oscar for. Should you really have gotten it for that one or something else? Like,
well,
I'm sorry.
We're gonna have a lot of disappointments on that one then, because there's a lot of people that really shouldn't have. Like they could have won it for another movie. You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, they should have won it in this movie. Like Denzel Washington.
Denzel should have won it for Malcolm X. I'm not
saying that he didn't deserve to get one for Training Day, but I'm just mad that was the first one. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like for lead actor. I mean,
yeah, it should have been Malcolm X or the Hurricane. One of those. It shouldn't have been.
Hurricane should have been for Malcolm X.
Yeah. And just to close out the night, I'm going to say this. For all you bitch asses out there that said Halle Berry is not a queen, if I smoked cigarettes, I would light up a Newport right now, a Newport menthol, and stick it right in your fucking eye.
Why?
There was a post that was on Facebook that showed all the queens. It had Angela Bassett, Halle Berry, homegirl from Love from A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Regina King.
Oh, yeah, they were all on a cover or something, right? Was
Yeah.
That they
that
were
picture.
on a cover. Was it Essence or something like that? It was like just some sort of cover. Shoot. Yeah. Lynn Whitfield was in there. Gina.
Lynn Whitfield. Yep, exactly.
I remember that. Yeah.
And these bum ass, tacky ass, roach infested ass niggas was on here just giving so much shade. You know what? This is the one thing I can't stand. I'm gonna end my portion of the show on this. This is the one thing I can't stand about some of you black ass fucking niggas, with y'all in this colorism shit, and all y'all in this. Oh, she's not you stupid ass AOC Pan-African ass motherfuckers. I'm talking to y'all specifically with this. Oh, she's not black enough. Oh, she's not a queen. What is she doing there? Halle Berry. This one chick said Halle Berry looks uncomfortable up there with the rest of those queens. How dare you? How dare you? And then you're gonna turn around and say, oh, she's not a queen. This is this dumbass's exact words. She's not a queen. She did the opposite of what a queen would do. She had sex on camera with a white man. This is the one I don't listen. I do not condone hitting women in the least bit. So please do not take this as I condone violence in that sense. But if I could reach to a post and smack a bitch in the face, I would have reached to a post and smacked the bitch in the face. How dare you? How dare you? You're going to diminish her because she did what no other actress wanted to do, which I think Angela Bassett turned down that role.
Yeah, she turned down that role. Yeah,
because of the fact that she didn't want to do
that role.
She didn't want to do that.
But she was consistent because she's done simulated sex scenes, but she's never really done like nudity.
Right.
I think it was one movie where she did. I don't even think it was really like nudity. It was just like a sex scene or something like that. She did a couple of simulated sex scenes. They were like love scenes. There was nothing too raunchy or nothing like that. Yeah. She's always kind of kept it like that,
Yeah.
So yeah.
But my bottom
she's
line
consistent, so I can't be mad at her for turning that down.
Yeah, and no, this is no knock against Angela Bassett for that because she stuck to her guns and she did what she want. She did what she does. Yeah. But for you to say that Halle Berry is any less of a queen. No, any less of Hollywood royalty because she had sex on camera. How dare you? How dare you come out the side of your face, out the crack of your nasty ass, and say some ignorant shit like that?
Well, I mean that's something that's gonna stick with her forever. That black people are gonna hate on. It's just that plain and simple. That's gonna stick with her forever. I mean, they're no different than the ignorant people that get on Omari Hardwick because he's married in real life to a white woman.
Girl.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing too.
They're even more ignorant because in real life he's married. That's his real life.
Stop questioning people's blackness because you know what? It's funny how selective y'all are about who y'all question like that. Because guess what? I guarantee never one of y'all ever rolled up on James Earl Jones talking that bullshit. Ever. Ever. He's never in question.
You never set it up. Y'all never questioned Quincy. Quincy
never
always
had nothing
dating
to say
white
about
women.
Come on,
never.
Nobody gonna say that.
And this
Jones is beta. I think his voice is
BS with y'all. and this BS with y'all and this colorism and you just making black just making people because the darkness of their skin because they don't atone to some quote of some quota that you have of what black people are supposed to be. It's just like Eva Longoria, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say on it. This is like Eva Longoria, who just got put in her fucking place, and which to her credit, she stepped up to the plate and said, I was wrong. When she came out and said, go ahead, Wes.
No, I know what you was going with that. I was gonna piggyback off of what you're saying. If you just finish your thought and then
with her and to her credit, she did come out and say, and she's going to make another statement because another Puerto Rican, African Puerto Rican Latina came to her and was like, "Nah, sis, you wrong." And she had to come out and she made the correction and was like, I was wrong for saying that Latina women are the one that brought America through this election, knowing damn well that there was black women, and I'm so sick of this, specifically with black women and us as black people in general, but with black women just being brushed aside and pushed under the fucking bus. Like, they carry everything in every nationality on every continent. It is a dark-skinned woman that's usually the backbone and usually the carry and usually the brunt of the most harshest criticism and just physical abuse that you can get. They get the brunt of it.
They catch it. They catch it all the time, and then there's always people that but then you got the people that criticize for it and stuff like that and accuse people of it that may not be guilty of it either. Because with that being said, that's the same thing that I said about when I posted my comic book. I posted my comic book on and I posted my comic book in the Facebook room called Black Comic Book Creators, Authors, and Writers. And I posted basically the new version that a young gentleman, new artist drew. He liked my comics and he wanted to draw his version of my team, which he did a good job as well. So I posted it. The first thing that the person said, the first comment on it said, "Oh, wow, not one black woman in it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, half of my team are black women. And he's like, "Well, which one is black?" And I'm like, "Do I need to explain to you which one is black? Okay, fine. Maybe you don't understand the way the artwork of the dude that he did." So I broke down which one is what. And I actually posted a picture of the original characters. I said, they're all based off of real people that I know. So I have, and I said, and second of all, why does that matter? This is the Black Creators, Authors, and Writers and Artists page, right? Group. Even if my characters weren't black, I'm black. Shouldn't that matter? Shouldn't that count enough? But the problem, so the dude's like, "Oh yeah, the artwork is dope, but I just like to see us represented." Once again, what are you talking about? I'm like, I was like, if I said instead of you trying to find out more about it just before you could pass judgment on it, you can say, "Yo, what's this book about? Let me check out some more stuff, whatever." Instead of you just looking at the first picture saying, "Oh, no black women," what? And then I'm like, dude, this whole shit is based off. But I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't by design. I don't create characters like that. I'm not, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna do a entire show on this, probably on my separate show, because I have a couple of people that want to discuss these type of things. I'm gonna say this one time only, once and for all. I am not. I'm not. I don't make black films. I'm not a. I'm not. I don't tell black stories. I'm a black storyteller. That's it. I'm a storyteller that happens to be black. So if I write whatever I write, I don't actually, when I create my characters, I don't even put ethnicities to them right away, because I just make the character to make the character. I build their personality based on whatever I build it on. I kind of give that, it kind of falls into their ethnicity on its own. I don't say, okay, I'm going, unless it depends on what you're writing. If you're writing something specific, but I don't sit down every character and say, okay, this is a black character. It's a black character. And then, oh yeah, we got to tell, we need to represent ourselves and tell our stories. Like, dude, I'm black, so this is my story. You know what I'm saying? So what else do you want to hear from it? So that goes right along with it. So my artwork was not black enough, apparently, because it didn't look black, whatever that's supposed to be.
I'm going to call it what it is. What the hell they were saying. I'm just going to be specific about it. Because that's what they do in these groups. And this ties back to exactly what I was saying. People need to stop with this colorism shit. Just because a person is light skinned, or just because a person is a lighter complexion than what you perceive to what a black person is supposed to look like. If we go back to Africa, there are different, depending on what region of Africa or what part of the continent you come from, there are actually black Africans that are not mixed seeds. They're not mixed with Arabs or anything else. And they are of a light tan complexion.
Yeah,
naturally.
But like I said, they don't want to hit on that stuff. So if you're not drawing characters with afro puffs and afros and whatever, really stereotyping the culture, in my opinion. Or you need something.
Even to say that's not even stereotyping, because because depending on what you're drawing from, that's some of the hairstyles. That's some of our natural hairstyles.
I know that. It's like one of my characters actually does have that hairstyle. That's the character that Valerie Wong plays. It's just that her character wears a wig. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the situation is. But when she's not wearing her disguises, she has the natural hair. I just didn't. I didn't feel I had to explain myself to this dude. Number one, and I tried to put out there and let him know you're wrong, dude. This stuff. These. Now, if you're gonna tell me that, then we start dating. Then when I told him, okay, each one of these characters' ethnicities, this is what it is. She's Jamaican and Asian. That's Valerie Wong and Lexi Chow. Jamaican, Asian. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Now he's giving me that shit now. So now I guess now he's saying that they're not black.
Isn't that the part that you get mad when you gotta explain something? You say, oh,
yeah, oh. But he said it sarcastically. He did it like, oh, one of those, or okay, so that's black to you, or something like that. And I'm like,
and
okay,
here's the thing
at this
with
point,
that.
I'm gonna stop talking to you.
Yeah, and here's the thing. And here's the thing for that jackass. If you go to Jamaica, if you go to the island of Jamaica, there are what specifically a lot of women. There are some men, but there are a lot of women there that are Jamaican Chinese. Yeah. From Chinese people that immigrated over to Jamaica. Yeah. Just like
there's white ones too.
Just like there are Indian Jamaicans, and obviously there are white Jamaicans because Jamaica was settled by the British. Yep. So obviously there are going to be white people there.
I know one that I met at the film festival. Beautiful woman, Laureen. She's still one of my I haven't spoken to her in a while, but beautiful woman, Laureen. You look at her, you couldn't tell. You think she maybe be like Italian or something like that, but she had this accent with her. And then, she was straight born and raised in Jamaica, the island of Jamaica. She's like, of course, she used to catch hell all the time because she was, the white Jamaican girl, the white girl. But she was born and raised on the island of Jamaica. So I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, so I guess that's, my characters didn't look black enough to him. So that's why he's like, oh, not one black character. Instead of asking, he jumped the gun and just decided to say that I don't have a black character. So I'll just tell him, like, you know what? You can go about your business now. If you ain't got nothing constructive to say, because you can't tell me what the hell, because I'm black, you can't tell me that I am only allowed to tell black stories, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just
I'm like,
foolish.
I can't do it. I said, look at my man from I can't pronounce his last name, but the dude, he's an African dude. He's from Africa, but he's a director. He's the one who was on The Mandalorian. He's one of the directors on the Mandalorian team of directors, and he did The Wood. He did Dope. He did all of these movies that you could be considered black movies or whatever. But he's proven that he is not a black. He's a storyteller. He's proven that he's just a storyteller because he's doing The Mandalorian, and in his episodes, that whole team. By the way, and we got to end this show. By the way. That whole team, if you watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, if you look at those behind the scenes or those, it's called I forgot the name of the series that's on there, but it's basically breaks down the whole director team. It's a whole diverse director team. It's a 7. They call this stuff like the Magnificent 7 or whatever. It's of course Jon Favreau. Then you got this other dude who comes from a animation background. He used to do Airbender. On Nickelodeon.
Exactly.
Got him. Then you got the black dude who comes. He's just a filmmaker, but most of the time he did like The Wood. He did stuff like that. Then you had this Asian girl who does. I forget her name too. I forget all their names. And then you got Ron Howard's daughter.
Yeah, Ron Howard's daughter. Yep.
Bryce Dallas Howard. She's in there, and her episodes were fire. The episodes she did, oh my god. Some of the best episodes she did. As a matter of fact, that last episode that they just did, the one that just passed, one of the best episodes of both seasons to me, because it had a lot of action in it. Bryce directed that, and then you got
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, you got Taika Waititi. So they're all different backgrounds, different type of walks of life, things, backgrounds, and styles of directing, and they all came together and they killing it for The Mandalorian. They putting the Star Wars fucking franchise on their backs, I don't care what nobody say. So they killing it. So screw you, whoever you are, you idiot who said what you said about my book. If you want to criticize the book, if you want to read the book and say I don't like the story, I give you that. That's fine. That's your opinion. If you want to look at the artwork and say, I don't like the artwork because you're an artist and you don't think the artwork is good, that's your prerogative. It's too, I got no problem. But don't look at my characters and say, oh, you don't have one black character when I do. And because they're not black enough for you, then you don't want to have nothing to do with it. So screw you. I don't want you to have nothing to do with my book. So that's it. Let's go. We're done. We'll come back next week and talk some more ish. Thanks everybody for coming through. And we'll see y'all next week. Wear your mask, people. Wear your mask.
Oh, please wear a fucking mask.
Please,
wear your damn mask, man.
Don't be that person.
I got too many people close to me getting this thing, and it's not like they're recovering, but shit, they too close to me getting this thing. So I don't want
you damn dummies out here talking about my rights are being violated. No, what you're doing is you're being fucking selfish.
Yeah. What's gonna happen is now they're already complaining about a lockdown. That's what we're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to lock us down because technically by law, even when Biden gets in the office officially, he can't make the Republican governors put a mask mandate, not by law. He'd have to exhort executive power, and then they'll fight it in court, and it'd just be a big thing. But he can lock the state down, lock the country down. And that's what's going to happen because people don't want to wear masks. So you have to lock us down now. Then they'll be complaining about that.
It would just be so simple. Just put your thing on.
So you're like, oh, okay, now it's locked down. You go outside, you're in trouble now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they put in there.
It's so funny for people who are begging and talk about how bad they want to get back to fucking normal. Some of y'all are the biggest ass hats on the damn planet that you can't put on a goddamn mask. I went to yesterday. I went to go get me some bourbon chicken from the mall, and I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I was just like I was feeling for some bourbon chicken because I was about to go to actually it was Saturday because I went to go take my car to the dealership to get a recall thing done on my car. And then I was like, oh, well, while I'm sitting here, I guess, once my car's ready, I'll go get me some bourbon chicken. And then I'll go check out, because after that, I went and watched Goldfinger at the AMC. And And I pulled up to the mall, and I turned my fucking car around and I left. The mall.
Well, I mean, yeah, because nobody had masks on. I'm sure.
Well, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even drive up close enough to the mall to even find out. I drove by the food court,
and it was
and I turned my fucking car around, and because I was driving through the park, and I didn't notice it when I was pulling into the mall. And you know how Roosevelt Field is set up, West. So when I came off the Meadowbrook Parkway, I really wasn't paying attention.
We're gonna finish this story off the air, by the way. So, good night, people.
Good night, people.